The Beehive?
It's going to be live on my Facebook in 2 seconds.
What about?
And
that was 2 seconds.
I can make it go public.
This guy just hit me up about T-Dot Fest. You see, you're cursing the thing there.
Yo. We're on the air right now, so be careful
on air, bro.
with talks that we say, bro. You gotta be super duper careful.
Deal with that later.
Yeah, deal with that later. Hold on, what's going on here? I need to get into my account. All right, so we live, man. It's T-Dot, Turono Talks.
So can we do the clap then? We're actually live?
We're live. I don't know if anyone's seen it right now, so we'll give it a second. What's going on with my account? Where is it?
This is an interesting situation we have found ourselves in this.
I'm just trying to get into my account so I can change the.
Welcome to this. We're gonna call this a sauna. It's freaking hot in this.
It's
bitch.
pretty hot.
This ain't shit. Oh, well, you're live on YouTube, so you should be live.
Yeah, we're live. Let's do the clap.
You're live?
Let's do the clap. We're gonna do the 1, 2, 3.
We make it clap. We make it clap.
Yo, that should be our new. That's gonna be our new one, eh? We're gonna go with that. The
Watch us get a copyright for that.
Oh,
Then Busta wants his money.
oh,
And then we
man.
find out that Busta's royalties are owned by 50 and Fofty really wants his money. And then we're screwed. Every tranny we fucked will be revealed.
Oh my god. Young Buck.
Yeah.
What's going on with Buck, man?
Oh, man.
That
Yo.
whack rap song that he just put out?
Yeah. It wasn't... The one on Duppy?
Yes.
It wasn't as bad as like people made it look out
Well,
to be.
it sucks.
It wasn't impressive.
It sucks.
Oh, I feel terrible. I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
What's
That's
his
all right.
name?
Just make sure you
Young
talk
Young Buck put out a diss song towards 50.
I'll try to pull back to
50
this so
has
your
been on
life
his
stays
case
more
about money and
comfortable.
him
There we
messing
go.
with trannies.
Cool.
So, he had enough, so he put out a diss record.
Okay.
And it was whatever. It was lackluster.
Cool.
This is the year of some lackluster music.
I was gonna go on a bit of a hot take there, but
So go ahead,
I think
run with
relax
it.
on
Run with
this.
it.
Nah.
Come on, man.
We're gonna make people mad this early.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
he's
why
really
not?
good at
Really's
reading
usually
energies.
wait a little
Frig,
bit.
man.
It's probably good that we. Yeah.
What's that?
Alright.
How do you guys usually start this off?
We just did.
Just like
Oh, we
this.
We just kind of talk
Let
about
our guest
whatever,
introduce
you know?
himself.
Yeah.
Well,
do
what's
it
up?
up.
My name's Marcus Starks. I'm here to talk Toronto Talks. And I hope you guys can check my vibes. And yeah, I'd like to sing some songs for you guys today too, maybe.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
a talented musician.
I don't know if we've ever had anybody actually do music up on
Nah,
That's
here.
one thing that I noticed that was
Yeah.
a little bit strange.
Do you know what? We should make a thing though, where if people want to do the thing up here,
Yeah.
there's no plugins. Like you're not plugging your beats in and none of that shit. Like we keep it simple.
Acapella,
If you don't come with a
like a-
guitar,
Oh, yeah.
like
I got a
Acoustic.
guitar.
I know you.
Yeah.
I know you do. That's why I
Got
said
the
that.
acoustic.
You showed the incentive.
Yeah.
And then I was like, all right, now we can just pick you up with the mics as is. It's no
Yeah.
extra work. But it should start being a thing where we make artists do something when they go up here, but we
Yeah.
keep
Nah,
the same.
that gets gimmicky, bro.
No, man.
That gets
Put 'em on the spot type
Rappers
shit.
have to
That's the
spit
reason
acapella or
speaks.
spit off their
Yeah.
phone.
I like acapellas. I think the whole freestyle thing has really like
Little closer to the
disappeared.
mic, my
Can you
man.
hear me now?
Yep.
Can you turn it up so I can get like a little comfortable?
All right.
Um,
Talk for a second.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check. Can you guys hear me out there in virtual lag?
We got you.
Okay, respect.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. So I think the whole freestyle thing has kind of been lost, and like, what happened to that whole term being completely flipped around into what it is now instead of just being off the top? Like, when did it become different? Can you guys elaborate on that a bit for me?
Well, I
Just-
mean, if you want to be like historically, contextually correct, freestyle typically meant like a verse that was free of style. Like Eric B for President by Rakim would have technically been a freestyle by old definition.
wow.
But this definition has been changed over time.
So
and
my
then in the
understanding-
90s became more of a thing to be like off the top of
Off
the
the
head.
top, okay.
And then, yeah, now you're
And
at
then-
this point where like it means kind of everything. And then certain purists believe it means one thing, but really it roots deeper than that. Like initially, freestyle was just a verse that was free of style.
Yeah,
It's like-
freestyles can be written. It's just
Like
they
I
are
have
what
no
they
joke,
are,
Eric
they
being
just,
Rakim,
you know,
like fucking. They
just
pretty
doesn't
much
necessarily have a
EPMD's
particular
whole
topic
early
or
catalog
whatever, you
minus
know?
Jane and listen to
Okay.
my demo.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
you had too much to drink and. Actually, they had a lot of concept songs. People don't give EPMD their props. Make some noise for fucking
Yeah,
EPMD.
they have the concepts, but they just weren't lyrical like that. But whatever.
Yeah, PMD
they made
was
hot
sick,
music.
though,
They made
man.
hot music.
PMD was sick.
Yeah.
yeah, they did a thing.
Going to be the master of the
Wait, what do you give
field.
him out of 10? I give him like a 5.
Oh, man, I
would
give
give him
PMD
7.
like a 20.
Nah, out of 10?
A 20 out of 10?
Yeah,
Crazy,
man.
bro.
No,
I'll give
Like
you
a
guys 20 out of 10.
6. I'll give them a 6. Beat wise, maybe something else.
I'll
But
give you got that shit. Fuck out of here.
No, PMD was
He's
sick,
better than
man.
you, God. Like,
He's better than Sermon.
obviously.
Yeah. He's sick.
But they're good duo. They were a good duo. Hopefully that doesn't follow.
Yeah, shout outs to PMD and Sermon.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I think we're literally talking about like a rapper that, unless you're a diehard hip hop fan, most people would be like, "Who the fuck?" What the
Exactly.
fuck? Like
Paris
Paris
Millennium
Smith,
Ducats.
they don't- You know what I mean? Like he wasn't the one who made it famous out of that group, so is what it is, man.
No, it's not, man. Mad respect for PMD.
I got mad respect for him. I'm just saying.
PMD.
Like,
It wouldn't be at EPMD without PMD.
Nah, man.
His name
He carries the first album.
EPMD.
Yeah.
No, he did. But once they went solo, I feel like he wasn't.
Sermon definitely had a better solo career.
Yeah.
But, like, Sermon really became, like, someone I wanted to hear raps from, like, by, like, late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, prior to that, like, PMD is the guy whose music got, you know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
Like, on all those early EPMD albums, like, no offense to Sermon, like,
Yeah.
great on topic and stuff, but, I mean, like,
He wasn't the
PMD
he
was
wasn't the
smoking
dude.
Sermon on a lot of tracks.
Yeah.
Sometimes Sermon to sneak up and, give him one, but I think PMD was,
man.
yeah. He's like Inspector Deck of Wu-Tang. He doesn't get his
I feel,
props
I feel
post
so
group.
fucking terrible because I'm in such a bubble of music
Yeah.
that's so eclectic that
Yeah.
I pick and choose in these people that I know, and usually in these conversations I can't like
It's
really-
all-
Yeah.
I can't place the names to the faces. It's so funny.
Yeah, but you remember EPMD though.
Well, I mean, of course, I
Yeah.
know that name, but I mean, fuck, can I say one song right now? I feel
You
like
got this.
That's what I'm saying. Like I love EPMD. They got dope music.
Yeah, but in
But-
today's, they're not mainstream anymore. In
Oh.
2019,
They weren't even mainstream back then,
No,
really.
they did what they had.
Man, they were always keeping it underground or whatever.
Yeah,
but-
man.
Nah, I feel you.
But-
What are you into, bro? Like, what music you checking for, man?
Fuck,
Because
that's
for
so
the most
funny.
part, like I said, I check music other than rock. But what do you check for? What are you bumping today?
Wow. So I guess today I was listening to some Sampha. He's a pianist that sings like a soulful voice, and I don't know. I just feel like, fuck. I feel like I'm hip hop to my bone.
Yeah.
And I just like to like be challenged
Yeah.
musically, and so I feel like I like challenges in music. So I like the complicated beats and things that aren't like easily picked up.
Right.
So Sampha's definitely something. I like James Blake. He came out and did a bunch of tunes with a bunch of guys. I really like Kanye. I think his music's amazing and like vibes with me really well. Empowers me. But I try to keep it small, and I'm really just working on my own music these days. And it's so hard to say that, isn't it? Like I just downloaded a whole bunch of Ghost, which is like this metal band that's like a satanic metal band, and I've been pumping them a lot lately. And
Yeah.
that's really been.
Make some noise for Satan.
There we go.
I don't even know why I'm clapping to that. I just want some claps though.
What do you pump, man?
Man, I'll pump. To be
There's
honest,
no
with you,
God without
I kind of
Satan.
pump whatever I feel like. You know what I mean? Like, there's some days where I don't want to bump anything other than Depeche Mode. You know what I mean? Some days I just want to bump Deftones. Last weekend I was playing a lot of Faith No More because it was the 30th anniversary of the album that dropped when Mike Patton joined the group. You know what I mean? I was bumping some Mobb Deep because it was a 2-year anniversary of the death of Prodigy. I checked out that Lil Nas X 7-track EP just because I knew it was dropping.
Just a little
How was
7-pack.
I like the track Panini.
Let it blow
You know what I'm
it
saying?
off.
I like the track Panini. You know what I mean? He's got 1-2 tracks on there that I like that I'm feeling. I gotta check for
That's
that
such
Jim
a hard
Jones
question
shit.
to answer in today's world. Because,
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, well, I've said it before. Like, I feel like a lot of people like to box themselves in or dumb themselves down. They hate to admit that they like anything outside of hip hop if they're a hip hop head and completely
I embrace
bullshit.
it.
Yeah.
Shout
You know
out
what
to
I
New
mean?
Kids on the Block.
Right. This guy went to go check New Kids on the Block last week.
Not only
so
did I go last week, I left the podcast mid-podcast
to go see New Kids
That's
on the
amazing.
fucking block.
And Naughty by Nature, and Salt and Pepper, and Snow. Info.
But you were really there.
Hey,
You were really there for New Kids on the Block, though,
Yeah,
right?
Snow came over a little sneak ting.
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah, I saw
Big up
that
to Snow.
online. That you
Oh,
Yeah.
shout out to Snow.
Yeah, you can't come to Toronto have an old school 90s thing and not leave out Snow.
Yeah, man. Snow came out and
That's cool.
represented.
Yeah.
He needs more props in this city.
From
Oh,
Calma.
yeah.
So what's
he deserves-
happening
he
in the
deserves a
city
little
right
more
now?
props.
Is there anything exciting happening in music? Has there been in the last 5 years? Like,
In the city?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think there always
A lot of
is and there always
excitement.
isn't.
Sorry?
I think there always always is exciting shit and there always isn't. You know what I mean? And right now it's summertime.
That's
so
interesting. That's
it's
very
interesting. There's free festivals.
Yo,
there's
can we
shit to
take
do
a
every
copyright
fucking
thing
weekend. You know
right
what I
now
mean?
and do something?
But-
there's something to see.
for
There's
what?
always a street festival.
Summer,
But, you know, we're not pushing
summertime.
ourselves the way we could.
So
we're
what's
not
up
we're
with
not
that? I heard
enlightening
you
our
guys.
artists.
I heard you guys talking about coming together and artists pooling money in your previous cast, and I was like, where does that whole shit start? Why don't we just do that already? Why
'Cause
don't
we
we just
talk a
start
lot
the
of
rappers?
We have solutions with no plans of execution.
Well, when does that start?
Ooh, that's a
man?
bar right there.
Yeah, right there.
That
Oh,
is actually
fuck.
pretty
Hey,
fucking
what up,
dope.
Las
Can we get
Vegas
that
in the
again?
building?
Remember that when we edit that. Yo.
That was actually
That's the
pretty
new
dope.
hook.
It all depends on who wants to actually make it happen. Not everybody's gonna be under the
Gotta
same
turn that
banner.
down.
Yeah.
You never
You'll
can get
understand
everybody.
when
I guess what I'm trying to say is, can we start that now? I mean,
Something
Dustin,
up
do you
on
want to
the
like,
window.
you want to? I got this club in Montreal.
Yeah.
We could do a party there. And I think I'd like to like feel the same excitement that I felt when I was younger. Those opportunities that were there.
We're gonna get shut off because of that, though,
No,
man. We will,
Yo, watch.
man.
Just keep talking.
We're gonna get
That's
shut
cool. I
down.
come off and they
If it
shut off the
happens,
show. That'd be
I swear to
hype.
God, it ain't happening. Just talk.
Bro, they're gonna sound scan that and they're gonna shut us down because that's playing in the
Not
background.
as long as you keep talking.
Hey. That's also gonna. Alright.
I don't want to risk it, man. I'm really happy to be here.
I don't want to get shut down on YouTube, but shout out to
A little
Summertime,
Summertime.
Jazzy Jeff. You know,
Okay.
Will Smith. That is a classic summer tune. I would say that's probably like the #1 hip hop summer jam of all time. Name me something that's a better summertime jam than Summertime by Will Smith.
Yo,
Sorry, Will Smith.
summertime
That
is
is the
more
Fresh
summer
Prince.
jam than
indeed.
Will.
Okay,
Yo,
okay.
yo.
I'm only gonna say don't sweat the technique because all the girls in their bikinis.
Okay.
Not because, only because the girls in their bikinis. That makes me
okay,
feel
okay.
summer. Oh, hold on a second. Naughty by
I do enjoy
Nature.
girls in bikinis.
What's Naughty by Nature? Not Feel Me Flow, the other one.
Here we go. Yeah,
That one and or Jamboree kind
Oh,
of.
Yeah,
Jamboree.
That when Stretch cut his hair and they're doing
Yeah.
the snowboarding shit.
There's some other shit. Oh,
Nah, but none of those have the impact of Summertime. Let's be real. Come on.
I gotta
Summertime.
sing summertime.
Summertime's big. Summertime's
yeah,
big.
yeah.
But you look,
It just makes you want to barbecue.
Yeah. I love it. It just
Yeah.
says the beat's
I still
dope.
play the record.
I
I still love the record.
Fuck yeah. Any jam. That
Yeah.
should get any jam
Yeah.
going. Alright, sorry, but what were you saying, bro? You're saying you got something popping off in Montreal?
Yeah, so we got this. I'm working with this boutique. It has 85 artists, designers from Montreal, and they're all showing their clothing inside of this boutique.
Yeah.
And I'm living in the most beautiful space. It's like a photography studio, and we have like little parties and get-togethers, and it's fucking fantastic, man.
Hey.
Bang! All right, I brought the ghost in, guys. So watch out. The ghost will follow me in, and weird shit's gonna happen this time. We might get shut off, so stay tuned.
Nah, we're not gonna get shut off.
We will if Maloney has his way over here.
Play
There's
copyrighted
no
music.
shutting off anything.
So yeah, that's happening in Montreal. I'm in Montreal, which is like dope. That's where I'm kind of gonna sit down. I got a recording studio right next door in the bottom of this boutique, and I'm gonna sit down and record this mixture, this acoustic mixture that I've been working on over the years, and I feel like the world really needs to hear this stuff.
Okay.
So I'm gonna sing a couple of those for you today. I cannot wait.
I remember the time when you had that spot at the condo.
Yeah.
And the music that you were pumping out there was dope.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I'd really like to get that down and record it. I'm looking for some producers to work with. So if you guys like what you hear today, holla at your boy, Professional Paradigm Shifter on Insta. Yeah, I definitely want to work with somebody. I want someone that can capture this stuff and bring it out of me correctly. You know, it's funny, I've recorded all these songs millions of times. Like, that's how I feel. But I just feel like you need that I think the industry gets set by people that have like these great ears and great feelings for trends that what people want to hear, and I'd like to find some people like that. So if you feel like you're really catching the trend of what's happening, please holler at me on Insta. Let's connect. And you know, Dustin talked about in previous podcasts that artists really need to come together, and what's stopping us from taking that leap? Like, really, what's
Egos.
Fuck right. Fuck right. That's right. Egos. What is an ego?
Something we all have, man.
It's
It's just how we
trauma.
think about, you know,
Wait,
ourselves
I'd like-
and how the
I'd
rest
like
of the
to
world
talk about
reflects on
that a
us,
little
and you
I'd like
know.
to talk
I
about
think
an ego.
egos are born in some form of past trauma.
Interesting. You go through traumas and then you build up defense mechanisms. And this is
Exact
your
defense mechanisms, yeah,
ego.
against certain things, yeah.
You know, we say these words like ego and stuff, but we don't really like.
Know
We
what
just
it
say
means.
it. We just
People
say
who
it
are
to like represent something, but we don't actually feel what that representation is. And I think that's what's happening in the world on a whole. I feel like we're kind of like we're out here, we're going to these parties, these festivals, but we're not like feeling it. It's almost like we're not really fucking there.
It's being there to be in there.
I mean, yeah, it's like I'm a hip hop
Yo,
head
for
because
real,
I'm a hip hop head.
I've never actually verbalized that because I've never thought of it. I just thought that's how things felt. But you're right.
Thank you.
A lot of shit I go to, I just go to almost for the sake of going to.
Yeah.
Like when you're there, like you almost don't even feel like you're there.
It's so fucking rewarding to feel something and then act on that feeling and not like have a repression or have this like to care about what other people think. You hear about people saying that all the time, like don't care about what other people think, but do you do that though?
You can't. What the fuck you gonna think about what they're thinking about? They can go fuck themselves.
Well, I think
I'll wear socks with sandals.
Why?
Because I don't care what anybody thinks.
That's an interesting. That's the reason why you wear the socks with sandals.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that for comfort.
And I think that happens a lot. We do a lot just to like as a middle finger to the world. Like I'm gonna wear these Crocs. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I don't care what you say. This shit could get wet. And that's cool, except that when did being weird become so cool and like actually fighting to be like something solid in life become not cool? I feel like that's where it's really at in the world right now. I feel like the more weird, the more colorful your hair could be, the more crazy
the more
or tattoo your
accepted you
face.
are.
It's like they accept you more.
Yeah.
And why is that?
Because
That's
the weirdos took over.
Well, no, it's what
Yes.
it's
Wait. That was
Weirdos
fucking
took
gold
over,
right
man.
there. The weirdos took over.
Yeah.
But there's so many people in the world that if you stay true to yourself, you have enough people avoiding weirdos to like. I don't mean to. You're fucking amazing person.
what I mean is like this. How do I put it like this? I'm gonna use Rastafarianism as an example.
Please.
They were getting bun out and all this stuff in Jamaica.
Yes.
Right? Getting murdered
Yes.
for being who they were, being the weirdos of the society. And as time went on, as people learned to not accept them but see their way of life, not everything they were talking about prior to being murdered and outcast of society are now accepted. Just like, you know what I mean? Like everyone nowadays rocking tattoos, even though they never went to jail and never was a gangster.
I just think
everything that was considered bad back then is considered cool now.
So it's just like it's just gonna happen. If you
Yeah.
hit something now, expect your kids are gonna love it.
Man,
No, I think what's
fanny
happening
packs
is-
are back. Come
Yeah,
on.
whatever. That's fashion.
Well,
But I
fanny
think what's
packs are
happening-
cool
I
right now.
I want to hear
Fashion,
Dustin's
bro.
thought on
Fanny
this.
packs were
Yeah.
cool back then.
No, I think what's happening is
You may be too young for fanny pack.
No, like
Oh.
I grew up in the era where like
man gives a fuck with somebody.
You
who
came
wears a
off the
Oh,
fucking
fanny pack.
That's what I'm saying, because prior to that, when it was
It was
cool,
like-
when fanny packs were cool, you were too young to know.
Yeah.
they were never cool while I was alive.
I know that. If you weren't allowed
They've been corny
to
my
know they
whole
were
life,
cool.
and
That's
I
the
still
point.
think they're
But
corny.
before that, they were cool.
Yeah.
It's just like
Yeah.
all types of clothing that's coming back right now.
Yeah.
A lot of it
Cycles.
wasn't really considered cool at a certain point in time.
It's like
Yeah.
20 years back, you could look back and see what's gonna happen.
I'm
next.
rocking
Yeah.
a bikini.
But isn't
before
that
a
funny?
fanny
That's
pack.
like a metaphor for life. Like look 20 years back. Like look at the past, see what you're doing wrong, and fucking change what's happening. Man,
I literally
you know?
did. I think skinny jeans were gonna come
I'll
back.
tighten it up for you.
I was like,
Respect.
"Eh, we were rocking skinny jeans again.
Yeah.
I was
No,
like,
I-
there was a point when it was cool.
Yeah.
Then it wasn't cool,
Yeah. Now it's
and then
back
it's back
again.
to being cool again.
But I think what's happening is we're reaching a point and we're seeing people bucking it. You know, people want to call it being PC, you know what I'm saying? Politically correct or whatever. But we're really reaching a point where a lot of people, you know, don't give a fuck about how the next person lives.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't. They should just be like, yo, word, you happy? Because if you're happy, I'm happy.
Yeah.
And if you're cool, then I don't have to
Yeah.
worry about you sticking a knife in my back
Yeah,
and
yeah.
trying to get what I got,
I
right?
agree
so
with
we're
that.
approaching that level and people are accepting people more. And that's why we're seeing so much resistance
And
and so
I
much
love
bucking
that.
of it because people want to be able to look down their noses and judge. They want to base their lowest common denominator off of how awkward somebody else looks to them or how queer somebody acts or how much money they make making minimum wage, which is a whole other thing. My whole argument about minimum wage is just people who are against it are just really basing their bottom end on how successful the least successful people in society are. And they're like, oh, they're catching up to me, so they shouldn't get more money. This is all it is people want to control society and they're afraid of, you know what I mean, not being able to look down their nose as opposed to the rest of us who are just like, yo, I don't give a fuck. Live your
see,
life, you're cool, I'm
where,
cool.
and that's where the whole movement really gets me. It's like when you're moving in the mind, body, and soul movement, you like, I guess the thing that doesn't really stick with me with that is just, it's okay to be whatever you want and show however you shouldn't be doing it to give a middle finger to anybody. You should be living life to be like, be loving and make people like comfortable. And I think beyond that, you shouldn't, I think if you're doing harm, that's when it becomes when you're doing harm, and I think a lot of the behaviors that we're accepting in today's world are doing a lot of harm to us. And I don't feel like we're being empowered, and like I don't feel like we're empowering the things that I really believe in and want to see that make me comfortable.
Like what? So, like what do you mean? Like what? Give me an example.
A behavior now. Well, for instance, giving kids hormone treatments for when they have gender dysphoria. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that doing harm to a child. I think that changing the body to fix the mind is like really complicates me. I don't know enough to say what it is, but I don't think any of us have enough information to say.
But that's the problem right there. You know what I'm saying? To bring that up, not having the information in and of itself is dangerous, because what you're doing is you're completely throwing, you know what I'm saying, like completely casting a shadow over them and the people going through it without knowing the information of why they might have to go through that. No. You know what I mean? So to kind of debate that without having all the information is kind of hard to debate.
That was supposed to be an example, and I'm not an expert in the field, so I can only give you an example and an uneducated guess. All I'm saying is that when the behavior is harmful, I'm against it, and if we don't know if it's harmful or not, then I'm against it. So if we're going to do some crazy shit, if we don't know if we're going to harm these kids...
You're against doing that to children?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank God. For a second, I thought you were saying you're with it.
Oh, no.
Oh, man, I was just going to keep quiet.
Hold on, wait.
So
that's another thing right there. What about truth? Does it exist? Like, it does exist. You were just
but
like,
what
yo,
is
this
the
is
truth?
I think that truth is always different, and our views can change so much of the same thing that it looks like different things to each individual.
All perspectives comes from experience and what you've been taught. Yeah. That's the only thing. That's the only thing you know.
And a lot of things about like
everything you know about Earth,
just like you said earlier, is
I like that.
Sometimes without the information, people, make judgment towards something based on how much they know about it.
Exactly.
And so this is the thing about comfort. You're talking about people doing. I don't want to get you wrong. That people should be doing things to make other people comfortable.
No, I don't. That's not exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, it should care to you. I should care enough to you, and I think when I navigate a room, I'm caring if other people, if my actions, if I'm chewing up my mouth open, if shit's coming out of my mouth.
Yeah, see.
I think that those are important things to look at. Yeah. That's etiquettes to
I get where you're coming from. I get exactly where you're coming from, but sometimes you see you use the word comfortable.
That was a bad word.
It's not a bad thing. It's just that
I'm an artist.
It means so much things to so many different people.
Yeah.
So the spitting thing, I get it. But sometimes you're talking to somebody, they're drunk and they're spitting. They don't even mean it.
Well,
and they're not trying to do it, right?
I will accidentally spit in your face sometime talking.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. And this is where you gotta go like this. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Or you gotta sneak a wipe.
That's me. When I get into a deep fucking song, oh bro. Especially if I was doing DMX impressions prior, you might get some spit on your face accidentally. Like,
it happens.
My thing
I don't
is
mean to offend anybody.
No, of course not.
My thing is, you can't. Well, put it like this: there are people that are uncomfortable with me just because of the color of my skin.
Right.
Hold on, no. Hold on a second. I'm just using an example. It doesn't bother me. I don't give a fuck. But I can't really change that unless I bleach my skin. Now, should I bleach my skin to make them? Hold on. No. This is what I'm saying. Should I bleach my skin to make them feel comfortable?
No, God no.
Exactly. So
if you have a behavior that's harmful, like anger or
suppose I'm not.
Like
I'm just literally just doing normal thing.
Then that's something you can't change.
I can't.
But a behavior you can change, and I think that
of course, so
we're responsible to each other to check each other's behavior.
But they're not.
The only thing about
that. But again, I said they're only comfortable. They're only uncomfortable because of my skin, not because of my behavior.
That's different.
So that's what I'm saying. When you use the word uncomfortable.
So if somebody's short or somebody's uncomfortable, for something that you can't control, that's ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Somebody has a disability or something, and you make fun of them. I mean, I'm completely with you, and I'm not down for making anybody feel.
I shouldn't be uncomfortable because someone has a disability or not.
God no.
But there's some people that are.
But do you feed into disabilities?
It's like when I wear socks and sandals.
I grew up with people with disabilities, so to me it's normal.
Dustin, I just saw the head go there.
It's normal, right? You know what I mean?
Maloney's comment.
Oh, okay. I missed that shit. So that's what happens.
I know people that are deaf, that have Down syndrome, that what's that, autism, whatever.
I think 1 in 5 families
have
autism now.
I've never had an issue with people with disability or mental illness or whatever because I grew up seeing people like that. So to me, it's like normal. But to other people, it's what the fuck?
Yeah.
So should they change their behavior to make someone feel comfortable that's ignorant to to their
See, when you bring it
position.
up like that, it's different.
Yeah.
Well, then you're saying that no, I wouldn't feel like anybody's sickness you should take into effect. But
Yeah.
I think that behaviors are choices, and I think if their behavior is making someone uncomfortable when it's not their choice, that would be determined as sickness.
I agree with you with the
but I wonder
behavior
how
part.
far that spectrum is.
I agree with behavior.
Like how far?
Because not everybody knows etiquette, right? At
Well,
different levels.
another thing,
Well, I mean even deeper than that. I
Yeah.
mean like cheating on your spouse or lying.
Oh, yeah.
Things that we just accept as human beings are
Yeah.
just fucking weird shit. Like getting smashed getting smashed in a fucking bar. It's
Yeah.
like,
but
why is this acceptable
the
behavior?
thing is, everyone's definition of what's offending or hurtful is different.
Yeah.
So that's why that's such a hard thing to gauge too.
Wait,
Yeah.
you just said that it's because we're human.
Right, absolutely. I mean, there's close to 8 billion people on this planet. So, in all
Mike.
actuality,
Yeah, Mike.
there isn't a norm. There's no quote unquote
G.
norm.
Yeah, Mike.
The sun's gonna rise over my house at a different time that it's gonna rise over your house. So if I say, you know what, the sun rises in my house at 6:15 every morning, but it
Wait.
rises at 6:19 over your house, it's perspective. It's you
The,
know what I'm saying,
the
different
earth, is,
things.
the earth
So
is constantly changing,
we
but there is the best of, there is like the strongest and most healthy of each species. There is ways to show that this is normal behavior, this is unnormal self growth, and we can say that there's normal things. I think that's an okay statement
yeah, but
to make.
yeah,
is that
yes
things
and no,
are,
I
that
don't
there
think
is
there-
a normal.
I
Yeah.
think when we
But
start
what
saying that
normal
there's
is
a norm,
perspective that's been
Yeah,
handed to you.
exactly. And when we start saying that, you know, certain things
What if
are
people in the southern
norm,
states actually have
what
it
we
right? And
start
fucking your
doing-
cousin is the most healthy thing
Yeah,
you
and it's
can do
normal
to
to
have
them.
affluent
And it's
children.
normal to them.
What if it is?
But we don't look at it
We
as
don't know
normal.
because we think it's gross.
We know it's not the norm because your DNA is too close, and when you start, you know, interbreeding with DNA that's too closely
Precisely.
related,
But
you
you
start
start
creating
having-
problems.
Exactly.
But again,
So-
there's
Precisely.
different norms. There's
And-
different, you know, again, like 8 billion
See,
people. How
and
can
I
you say
think
what's
the different,
normal?
I think the
It's-
different norm that you're speaking of is just us having a different view of the same truth. And so your circumstances in your life may look at someone going and working every day as being a norm, and you're like, I wish I could just have a job and support my family.
And you know what?
But
For some
somebody
people,
else
it's
is
not
like,
normal.
every single person that's going to work every day is actually. We're actually giving into a system of my enslavement, and it's actually offensive to me that you're fucking going to work and you're working for somebody else, and I don't think anyone should have that.
Yeah,
and
right.
I actually really agree with
People
that.
have different normals.
With that statement, I'm not sure though. I think what it is that they have different views of the same normal, of the
Yeah,
same
100%.
truth. And so it's just,
100%.
because of my life circumstances that I'm viewing the same truth. And if that truth is omnipresent, and I truly believe that it is, I think that it exists without. Like, that's why it's the truth. Is because it's always there. And it's
But the problem is
No,
the
see-
truth is hidden from you in every aspect of everything in some degree.
nice.
No.
Let's go there.
See, I think where you guys are going
But
is
the
leading
thing
to a
is,
lot of problems. that we
nobody
have
knows
in
really
today's
what to
society.
believe.
Well,
There's a
speak to that.
conflicted
Speak to that.
opinion
Why
on
do you think
anything.
that that's given to the problem?
Okay, because when you normalize something, when you say these are the standardized norms, you create a problem similar to what happened in Germany. You create this ultra nationalism that, hey, you know what? This person isn't normal because they eat curry. They don't eat KFC for dinner on Friday night like the rest of the block does. So when this person stands out, you want to call the police on them. You want to snitch on them. You want to point them out and say they're not normal. They're not Canadian. They're not like us. So it creates this
just
whole
want-
problem
Wow.
where people start looking at things that aren't the norm and singling it out instead of realizing, shit, just because they do
But
that
I
and I
wonder-
do this
but I wonder
doesn't
how-
mean
People
that
hate
they're not
change.
normal.
I
People
think
hate
that that's
Exactly.
also very dangerous, and I think that either extreme is incredibly dangerous. But ultimately, you want healthy babies.
You know
you
what
don't
you
want
just-
you don't want.
You know what you
sick
just did? Based on what he just said, you already said it in the beginning.
babies. What happened there? The
It was a
referee
waste
Based on what
stepping
you
stone.
said
Stepping
about
stone.
things being normalized,
Yeah.
this is what you brought up in the beginning about how things are being accepted today, being normal, being normalized.
Interesting.
This is what your opening statement was.
I think basically
It's
what
crazy.
I think
That's how deep
I'm
debates
going
can
home.
actually get you, though. Is you
going
can
home.
actually switch sides in debates.
You didn't switch,
Where I
you
wanted
just
to go
gotta
with this-
switch.
where I
You
wanted to
switch.
get-
A lot of debates
You guys
happen.
literally said the same thing.
That's
for
what I was
two
just gonna
different
say.
ends.
That's
No,
why
it's right.
many debates, if you look
And-
at them,
and Dustin,
even
I
on the
really-
show,
Yeah.
when we debate, a lot of times it's because we're saying the same thing and we're wording it differently.
Yeah.
That's
And
so
we come
funny.
from different points of view to the same agreement. But a lot of
Absolutely.
times, that's how.
But the problem is now, what is being normalized, what's being accepted, what is changing, and
every time you
Could
disrupt
say, yeah.
normalization,
Yeah.
you have uproar. Because people don't like change. The same reason someone who has
What is
full
normal?
potential.
Define
working-
normal to me.
Well,
healthy.
Normal is whatever you want.
But how you could be healthy and be completely different than somebody else and live a different lifestyle than somebody else. And
Do you know what? This is going to be a touchy thing.
But your behavior, if your behavior is
You might have saved me
healthy,
a
then I would
bullet.
say that it's normal. If it's unhealthy and does harm, then I would say it's not normal. And I think that numbers will show us that wherever you see a lot of sickness, a lot of mental health disabilities, whatever people are identifying with groups that have those things in it, it's going to show what healthy behavior is.
But see, the thing is, to me,
I don't think
normal.
that correlates into normality, though.
The thing is, though, with me,
But some
normal.
things, what's go ahead. Oh man.
Hold on,
Well,
wait.
because
Matt
normal-
I want to hear his thought though, because Dustin, I admire you, and when you speak,
Yeah.
I truly am intrigued by what you're saying. I
This is
want
like-
to
this is-
finish that
I didn't
thought.
wanna say what I'm gonna say.
Why doesn't the most healthy equate to normal?
Because I'm gonna start
We
saying
would,
all
if,
kinds of
if
shit.
we were
we know.
doing if we were doing tests on mice, we
Right,
want
right,
the
right,
we,
right.
we want the most healthy mice that are identical, and then to be. And I'm not saying to be identical, and I'm not saying anything in that level. What I'm saying is that as long as you're not doing harm, then it's normal. Then that's normal behavior, and we have control of our behaviors. And where I really wanted to go with this was my first topic, which I want to talk about on the podcast today, which was our thoughts. And in this experiment that I've been doing over the last couple of years, that's been changing my life. So when I meet a new I've been doing this experiment that when I meet new people, it's like a kind of like a spiritual experiment. Let me just take a breath here and have a little sip of wine before I get in here.
So I was a mouse in an experiment earlier today.
Cool.
Okay.
You're a
You're-
mouse?
You were actually.
I met him for my first time today.
Okay.
So I was part of an experiment.
So when I meet people, I try to think about
I feel
how
like I should have had to sign an agreement prior to.
You did. You did. It's just not in this realm, in the
Okay.
spirit realm. Okay, cool.
Well, I hope I passed the test.
You did. You're amazing.
All right.
So this experiment, what I do is when I meet someone new, I think about how beautiful and intelligent they are, and I like try to project this feeling into the air when I'm meeting somebody, and I like really try to like think about that stuff. And I find that when I'm conscious and able to pull that off, because I'm just living life and I often forget, that I can really project this emotion out with my thoughts by just thinking these thoughts about these people that I'm around. It's been invaluable in my life, and I've done in the last couple of years. I mean, I've been down to Florida. I was playing shows all up and down the coast. I've been meeting like huge people and just having a really great time. And I really think I owe it to this experiment. So it's the power of our thoughts and what we're thinking about, and owning that shit. Owning the shit now, and like on your age of enlightenment, whatever you use to get through it, you don't have to hold on to that. Whatever mechanisms you use to get through these bad times in your life, you don't have to hold on to those things. You can let that shit go, and you can change, and you could not victimize yourself with those experiences and those traumas. And the best way to do that is by controlling your thoughts. And I'd like to know what mechanisms you guys use and how thought has really like control how you guys are using thought to like.
Okay.
Talk to me.
Unlike, okay, let me just.
No,
say
you go
this because
first.
I-
You go
As
first.
soon as you said what you said.
Can you pass me a beer before you start?
Yeah. So basically, like how you look at the beauty in people,
Yes.
I look at how fucked up people could be.
Ah,
And I gauge them.
the cynical version of the same thing.
But I gauge them
That
on
is
how
beautiful.
on how they.
What their potential fucked upness is?
No, because people are fucked up.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
honestly, they're so. Even if you give someone an opportunity
Yeah.
to not be fucked up,
Yeah.
they'll do the most fucked up shit.
But
Yeah.
that same person is capable of it. Of
course they are. They are.
Love.
And within certain realms, they're gonna be that.
Yes.
But I always have to put it in perspective. Like, okay, let me give this person a chance to fuck up.
Ah.
See, on a
So
long,
it's
on a long
almost-
enough,
it's
on
not-
a long enough
but it's not-
timeline,
yeah.
everyone can hurt
Yes,
you. On a long
of
enough
course,
timeline,
but-
everyone's gonna hurt
But
you.
no,
But that doesn't excuse all the
It's not about
beautiful
hurting.
time you guys
It's not
spend.
about hurting. It's about fucking up. So
Like today in this fucking
I'll give you an example.
conversation.
I'll give you an example. Someone I didn't really know that well, that are friends of friends of friends, wanted to do some events and all this other shit. This guy really fucked up.
Oh fuck.
But I don't care, because I was like, okay, you just got to show me, dude. Earlier you show me, the better. So I was working at this venue. He was there. He's ordering all types of fucking drinks. End of the night, or he left, ended up leaving, fucking like running off on the bill.
Was this me?
No. and then the bartender was like, "No, this guy said he was your manager, da da da, all of this,
Oh,
that."
shit. You just put it all on you.
This sounds like.
And I barely knew dude. I barely knew
Yeah.
dude. So it's just like, even if I didn't barely know
Did he
him or
pay you
not,
for the
Oh,
shows
shit.
even?
huh?
Did he pay you for the shows?
No, I
Whoa.
was getting paid from the venue.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
But the point is,
Wow.
He drank and put it on you.
Yeah.
Basically dipped out like, oh,
now if
that's
you
my
wanted
man,
to
you
work
got
with
me.
somebody, you don't do that type of shit.
Fuck
Yeah.
no.
But it doesn't matter. You can know someone 20, 30
And
years.
that's why
and
now-
they'll fuck up.
That's why now you don't trust. That's why now you go into situations. It's like, oh, this guy's gonna fuck up.
No. I've been on that tip of years ago.
Why?
Yeah.
Because
It's almost a level of comfort of like, how old are you?
Yeah.
33.
33. So you're closer to my age.
Yeah.
I'm still in that point. Like, I feel like on a spiritual sense, I don't know how deep spiritually you are,
Yeah.
but
Really
like,
wanted
with the
to go
way I look at
spiritual
the
with this.
world and the universe and stuff, I think we're kind of in alignment.
Yes, I do.
I'm more blunt and like societal about it, and just like I just don't bother preaching shit to people who don't care. That's kind of where I'm at, so I just make poo and pee jokes.
Yeah.
But basically, like, yeah, man, I don't know. I think we're on the same length, and that's why, like, but who knows? Once we get like, say another 10 years,
I was converted. No.
Our outlook, though, think about it.
I was like that when I was younger than
That's
y'all.
what I'm just saying.
When I was younger than y'all.
But once
Y'all
we
talking
get
about like the
shit
mind,
on
though, like
by
your thoughts,
enough people,
on thoughts though.
we
right?
might stop giving people an
But it's not
opportunity to
about
be good and
shit,
give them
yes.
it's still the same perspective. It's a tainted version
There's
of
a
it.
teacher that I remember from
But
from
wait, I
Trevor's.
wanted to speak to that.
Hold on. I just want to say
Yeah,
real
it's
quick.
official because we're talking about thoughts. You never even like we got it. You know what I'm saying?
There's this teacher I remember from Trevor's that I'm Tony.
Yeah.
I remember trying to do something with him, and he said, "I only give people one chance." I didn't understand what he said at the time. If you fuck up with the one chance, he didn't say it like that. He was a really nice guy. Then that's it.
Yeah.
What? And I understood where he came from later in life because
It's good.
he's a music he's in the
you only
music
get
industry.
one first
And it's
impression.
like, come on, bro. Like these chances are just not given to anyone.
Yeah. You only get one first impression. My thing,
Yeah.
though, my thing on thoughts is like, because we're talking
wait,
about thoughts,
just
right?
before you start, Justin,
Yeah.
hold that thought. I just want to speak to this.
Yeah.
You were saying that when you meet somebody, you automatically think when they're gonna fuck up, and I'd like to challenge you.
Yeah.
Just in your own, maybe if I can come back in a month or something on the
Yeah.
Turono Talks podcast, we could rediscuss this. But just try this experiment of thinking the highest of everybody, and
man.
just try it. Just try, but you can't
That's
just
so much
think it.
effort, man.
No, but what I'm saying is, I bet you Mike has been there. I can just tell by the type of person.
Yeah, I've been
he is.
there.
He
I used
did.
to- I
I
used to-
guarantee this guy used to see the best in people. What
Yeah.
I'm saying is, we're younger.
Even when they were fucking up.
Oh wait, we're
Give
younger
us-
than you?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
give
How
us
old are you?
10 more
42,
years.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Mike Stoan did that. What the fuck?
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Give us
You
like
look great, man.
Trying to,
Okay,
Yay.
man. Okay.
But I was, like I said, the same shit you're talking about, I was doing when I was 23.
That's what I'm saying.
Cool.
Give us more time, and we might look at it like Mike Stone. Because the way I see the way Mike Stone looks at
point.
people, we look at people like, yeah, like, you know, we see the best in them first, and it almost takes them to fuck us over before we're like, we put them in that
Don't even wait till then.
He fucking fucked us over by so many people, and those extra years. 'Cause those are vital
you're right.
years.
You're right.
Those are baby
They'll
years. Those
fuck
are
up on their
vital
own.
years.
They don't want to fuck
Those-
you
the
up.
extra experience.
They'll do some fucked up shit.
As soon
and
as
that's
you turn
warning.
20.
That's the red flags. And you're like,
Yeah,
okay.
you're
Yo,
right.
I'm telling you,
I
as
think
soon
you
as
know,
you
I'm
turn
like-
20, anytime you talk to somebody 30 or older, you soak it in because at that point it's not bullshit, it's wisdom.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
one thing for real.
Okay.
Man, like I think at the end
I'll
of the
soak
day,
that in a little bit of that.
Yeah. But I know where you're coming from.
No, I think you're right though. I
Yeah.
really do. I gotta know that stone is coming and that they are gonna disappoint me. And I find that I really put too much into relationships, and I know that that's coming, and I should probably be more aware of that. So you're right.
Like I'm like a
I said, be
balance.
careful.
I have no
That's why I said be
expectation in
careful.
anything, but I'm open to everything.
Yeah.
I don't shut things down because I think it's a potential fuck up
Yeah,
or
yeah.
a fraud or something. I give everything a chance.
Yeah.
But I'm never optimistic of anything.
that's
So like
what
I'm cool with it. Like I think it might go
I love
good,
this guy.
but
I
I'm
love
not
this
like this is the thing.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Never that. It's like
Yeah,
man,
you don't wanna- you
I've
don't
done
have-
that in the past and learned.
And then you get
it's not the
disappointed.
thing.
You're like, oh, fuck.
No, everything's just
That's-
everything in my life is just
No, it's good to be
neutral.
ready for everything.
It's just
It's
very
good to be ready.
down the middle.
Yo, Dustin.
It's
So
good
thoughts.
to be ready for for everything or whatever. But at the end of the day, man, you got to for me when I think like negative thoughts about people, like I just think like how does it reflect on me? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like how is it eating me up to have these negative thoughts about that
All right,
particular person?
great
Are they
example.
even investing time thinking about me? So why waste my time thinking about it?
So
but
Dustin
at the same
probably-
time, I'd rather project out to the world what I want to do. You know what I mean? I'm a firm believer in mental projection.
And so how do you mentally project?
How do I mentally project? Well, meditate, speak, like
So
pray,
when you're meditating, you're visualizing what you want in the world.
visualizing
to
what I
come.
do. I have, I can't give out too many of the secrets, right? But I have.
Why not?
You can't give them
because everyone has their own little thing.
Yo!
But I
Yo!
have
He's a wizard!
No, what I'm saying is
Either that or he jerks off with a pickle in his hand. And that makes him
What do you
feel
mean?
spiritual greatness.
A pickle
And
here
he
and
just
there?
can't tell us.
No. What I'm saying, for
What's the
example,
secret?
what I'm saying is like,
You like to project. You like to project.
yeah. So I have, like,
Wow.
for example,
What's the secret?
I can't, for example, like tell you my whole thing, but I have a daily mantra that I'll say every day when I'm burning my, you know what I'm saying, burning like one of my last joints of the day.
Cool.
I'll have my little moment where that's my moment of gratitude, and I have a specific mantra that I've said for years. I've walked around with this mantra and this list of things that I want to accomplish in my life in my wallet for almost 20 years, if not 20 years. And I learned later on in life, like I wrote that list before ever meeting certain people who told me about this. I got put onto a book called The Alchemist, which is about specifically that, and it's about, you know what I mean, if you really want something and you're taking the steps and you're taking the risks, you eventually will be rewarded for taking those risks to go out and get what you want. But you have to actually project out to the world, not just, you know what I'm saying, certain things.
Just quickly, I've never heard The Alchemist summed up so well.
That's what alchemy is, though. You're turning lead, which is your life, into gold, which is the dream that you want. But it's the journey at the same time.
And so the way to do that is to take the risk and trust that it's going to work out.
Trust that it's got to work. And in order to trust that it's got to work, you got to believe so much that you shout it out to the world in multiple forms. Not just whether it's words from your lips, but you're actually physically living what you want to do. So it's quitting your job.
Yo, do you see where
No, it's funny that you even mentioned Kanye. It's funny that you even mentioned Kanye.
No, he's a great example of it.
Exactly, because there's an interview with Common from years ago where he talks about meeting Kanye as a teenager, and this kid came out saying, yo, I'm gonna be the biggest rapper in the world, best selling this, that, and the other, and Common's like, okay. And then eventually, you know, he started working for Kanye, and he was saying, yo, what Kanye did is exactly what happened to Alchemist, which is mental projection.
Drake did the same thing in his music.
Physically putting it out there to the universe, so the universe can say, oh, that's what you want? Word. I'm gonna cook things around the universe.
But do you know what the big thing is about also speaking things into existence? Do you know why it doesn't work sometimes? Because people are too stupid to recognize an opportunity. Something that you might have to fork out a little bit of money for, something that seems like it might be a hindrance at the time. Sometimes could be that biggest opportunity you ever had, disguised as something else and you didn't realize.
Sometimes people
everywhere I have made it, and this is the same reason why.
You're saying that it always works. It's just that we're too stupid to see that this thing's right in front of our fucking faces right now.
I'm not gonna say that it always works, but what I'm gonna say is
I like that better though.
What I'm gonna say is, okay, so maybe you decided, hey, I want to be the greatest selling rapper of all time, and you go out and you have a decent career run, and then it kind of pans out, but then all of a sudden you meet this kid and you're like, god damn, this kid's fucking dope, and you've accumulated 10-15 years worth of knowledge, and you realize, hey, it wasn't meant for me to be this dude, but I'm the dude that's gonna spark the next Tupac.
Did you watch
you put
Beats?
it behind him and he blows up. I did watch Beats. Beats was decent. But
that's kind of the same idea.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes things happen and they're serendipitous in the way they happen. Watch, for example, the movie Founder. It's about Ray Kroc. This dude was trying to sell milkshakes, and he was having all types of failures selling milkshakes, and someone orders like 8 from him. He's like, who the fuck are these guys ordering 8 milkshake machines from me? And he goes
the McDonald's story.
And it's these 2 brothers who do McDonald's. And he's like, oh, this is a dope thing. And eventually what happened is he saw a vision that was even bigger than they had, and he took the company from them and turned it into what it is today. But he was like 60 when that happened.
That's kind of some evil shit, though.
No, it's super evil.
Yeah.
It kind of is, but he was just more determined to get it.
That would kind of equate to the poison that McDonald's is in this fucking world.
Well, and it equates to the poison of what Western society and what this whole central bank brand system.
So yo, what the fuck? What are we gonna start talking about that on Turono Talks, man? Occupy Wall Street.
Yo, that didn't work though. That shit's old as shit.
Occupy Wall Street and stick that shit out. Let's stick together, man.
But
come to
that shit didn't work out though.
You would feel some of my old shit.
But you know what's fucked up?
This is very
Same shit.
Wait, before I just want to talk to the mantra quickly.
Right.
He was saying he projects. He likes to project. We can't have the secret. And one thing that I had an issue with my whole life was my anger. I'm a fighter. I love fighting.
Around my neck.
And so when I feel this like anger coming on, it's been like this like huge hurdle in my life. And I found that mantras was the best thing for me. I must become a lyricist and a musician. And so I have this mantra that I'll say to myself that like completely changes my vibe and attitude. And so I think mantras are really interested. If anyone out there wants to know more about mantras, anything, I'll let your boy, Professional Paradigm Shifter, on Insta.
It isn't even just a mantra that I have. Like, I take 5 minutes of time. I got one. I take 5 minutes of time, and I'm actually, like, thankful for the things that are going on in my life. You know what I'm saying? So just think about it before I spark that last thing. I'll also think about, how can, how can we be better tomorrow than we were today? How can we be better today than we were yesterday? How can we be better tomorrow than we were today? You know what I'm saying?
Such an important question. Do we ask that and do we expect that of our friends that we're chilling with?
I don't know, but again, that's me taking 5 minutes of my own personal time out of the day just to recognize where I am in this world, what I want out of this world, and what I want for other people. And I think if other people took the time to just take that 5 minutes of reflection alone, they would have a better understanding and a better appreciation of life alive.
Interject.
Because what you just said, that's a jewel right there, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, cool. Because I can tell you for real, never in my life have I sat there for any period of time and thought about how grateful I am for really anything.
Well, I challenge you to, man.
No, but what I was going to say is, at the same time, though, one thing I've noticed that is a trait I don't have that many people I know have, especially in the age of social media, see it even more, is when people are a victim of some sort of trauma or something saddening in their life, they want to be the victim. But I don't have that trait either.
Right.
I don't sit there when bad things happen and look for sympathy, or like 90% of the time I don't post that shit.
Yeah.
My relative passed on Facebook, you're not seeing me making art.
That's one of the last things I'll do.
I'm not out there looking for, you know what I mean? So like I'm on both sides of the spectrum. It's like, I'm not sitting there being thankful for everything, but when I get shit on, I'm not one of those people that sit there and bitch and cry about it either, or like, oh, shit sucks and nothing's fair. It's like, nothing's fair. And that's why when the good happens, it's like, cool, the good happens. And when the bad happens, it's like, that's part of the good.
So have you thought about that as a mechanism, though? Like when you're going through life and something bad happens, you're like, this shit. Like, have you worked that shit off through your experiences and like, this is like your
that might have came to a point I came from, because like I was picked on for most of my childhood up until, you know what I mean, a certain point.
Really?
So yeah, 100%.
Let's find those guys and fuck them up.
Yeah, up until like high school, basically. And at like a certain point of high school. And there was different sections of being, you know, the singled out one through different stages of my life, from little kid to up until basically
that's why you're so amazing now.
You know what I mean? I just live your fucking truth. You know what I mean? Like that's the only thing I can say.
That's all you
Be
got.
your fucking self.
Which I think ties back to our whole conversation about being normal.
And
there's nothing normal about you. There's nothing normal about anybody in this room. We're artists. To be an artist, you cannot be fucking normal.
No.
You have to actually take in emotions at a level that normal people don't register. You are more emotional than a normal human being, which is what allows you to project your art in a beautiful fashion out for the rest of the world to see. You're an empath without even knowing it, which means that you are empathically linked to people in a room. That's not normal.
Yeah, but
we're
not
sitting here
all
taking
artists are like
copious
that.
amounts of alcohol while smoking marijuana. That is not healthy. That is not normal compared to your standards. But that allows us to get in tune with different emotions.
You know, I know what's so funny about this. I quit
wavelengths.
drinking for 4 years, brother.
Right,
I had
right.
6 drinks in 4 years because I just seen that my firstly when I was performing it was bad, and just like the way it would make me feel, I was in a bad mind space and I wasn't able to get at this thing like channeling demons in my head.
Yep.
So I took this break, and then lately I've been drinking and it's been really good, happy time. And I think,
have to be in a better mental space.
Yeah, definitely. But I think what it is that you have to be able to take that time. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Darling.
I agree.
And,
but if you focus,
and so we like I like to demonize this, and I was demonizing it during that period. I was like, it's bad, it's evil, it's ruining so many lives.
Bro.
But it's not ruining lives. People ruin their own fucking lives.
Yeah.
No, but you know what?
It does a device.
But bro, I've been in that
they use it as a tool to do that.
You have the same exact place. So when I was in high school, I got into periods. I was dating a girl that I dated for about 10 years.
dated a girl?
Dope.
Yeah, once upon a time. before the trainees came into the picture. But so like I got to this point either way. Basically, long story short,
oh shit! There goes the spin.
Threw me off.
Fuck.
I apologize. But what I want to say,
what was the point we were talking about?
let me make my point.
Threw me off. I didn't.
My point is, what I want to say is, if you live your life, that was fucked up. But if you live your life trying to be quote unquote what other people think is normal, you're actually
because you're taking this word that is really useful to us and you're kind of making it you're like demonizing it. And I think what you have to do is you have to say that non-harmful behavior is normal.
And what you just said,
and harming things as being intelligent humans is not normal. And it doesn't matter where you are inside of being a kind, good person and not creating harm.
No, but you know what? I'm sorry, I don't want to cut you off, but I do remember the point now. And you just spoke on it exactly.
Back to Chatties, let's go.
The normal, and it's one of the things we said, right? The jump of the whole conversation, but it's a different perspective of it. Everyone got to speak on what normal is. Now I want my chance, all right?
Speak on it.
So normal doesn't exist because even still what you're explaining normal as is a consensus of something. But
Wait, no,
hold on,
because we
each
all know that
person-
having babies is
No,
bad.
hold on.
Some people
No,
think harming
if you
people is
grew up in
normal.
a household where your mom was smashing babies against the wall 3 times a year and celebrating it like fucking Hanukkah, and you got presents for 7 days, you would look at murking babies a lot differently.
Firstly,
so
I did not
hold
need
on.
that visual.
No,
I did
but
not
hold
need
on.
that visual right now.
The point I'm making is something that you actually agreed
Where the
with
fuck did that
early
come
on.
from, B?
But it's that everything is perspective.
Yes.
Now, so that's the problem with making
that
a
come from?
normality file line.
Well, the way that we normalize humans is when it hurts
R.
somebody
Kelly
else.
for his sexual preferences, is he normal?
Doesn't he say like 19 or something like that?
But for what the
I
record?
don't know, I'm just saying.
For what the record
I don't know
has
enough
proven
information to speak on R.
beyond
Kelly's
his
situation.
words.
Is it normal based
Super
on what law?
random.
The point I want to make
Based on law, like
is he knows by law it's not right for him
hold on.
to be trying to.
It depends on the state and depends on consensual.
So supposedly the parents.
It all depends on consensual
Wait,
agreements.
Wait, no. What were the
What
terms?
point are you trying to make?
Hold on. The point I'm trying to make though is.
I can tell you if what R. Kelly did was normal.
devil.
If those girls are harmed, then what he did was not normal.
But
But
if-
if those girls are unharmed, then it's normal.
So if the girl was willingly at 14 years old,
If her
willing
parent- if
to
her-
take the piss to the face, not knowing the implications of what it might mean later on, but she was coerced into thinking it was okay.
If she was harmed,
No, because I'm
I
trying to
think
make
it's
a
harmful.
point
I
here,
think
and
it's
I'm trying to.
harmful. I think it's harmful
get to
to pee on preteens. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist.
It's harmful.
If it is harmful,
So it's not normal.
so it's not, well, no, it's not normal.
But if you grow up, if you think that's normal, see, this is the point I'm trying to make, though. R. Kelly, he gets busted for that. Now he's busted for doing the same shit over and over and over again.
That's his.
He clearly does not think it's harmful. This is clearly normal to him. And see, that's the issue with lining things
what is
with the
normal?
word normal,
Yeah.
because normal is to what normal is to each individual. And you will never find 2 people who think everything exactly alike are
Exactly,
normal.
that's what I said, yeah.
Unless they're like me and
There's
just don't give a
8
fuck
billion
about
people on this
anything.
planet. There's 8 billion people on
So
this planet.
basically, everything's abnormal, and we can continue fighting.
Everything is abnormal.
Or we could just say, fuck it, I'm gonna live and let live, and just, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm trying to live my best life,
Yeah.
so in order for me to live my best life, I have to be accepting of you, and you live in
I
yours.
think,
and
you know
as
what
long
we
as,
need to
as
do?
long
Well,
as,
and
like I
that's
said,
the
you're
mind
not
state everybody
harming,
needs to
physically
be
harming
to.
or,
You know what we
or
need to do?
condemning people in the front.
We need to just set up some
Exactly.
set up some
As long as
colonies.
you're not harming somebody, but if you're a fucking rapist, then I'm not gonna chill with you, bro. You know, if you're a fucking
I
murderer,
agree.
we're not bred.
I'm not condoning murder or rape, but what I'm saying is
I
if
think
that's
those are givens.
normal to them. Like,
I think that
you're
is
not a
a
serial
norm.
rapist.
That is a norm.
Oh, there is a norm.
There are norms.
That's what I'm trying to say.
That's what I said.
If you are a serial rapist or murderer for like 20 plus years before the cops bust you and you never turn yourself in and they just end up catching you, that's your norm.
Yeah, that's facts.
That is normal to you.
Yeah.
It's not abnormal. You don't do something for 27
No.
years and be like, oh, this is abnormal. Like, that is your norm.
Yeah.
You're on a daily basis going
And
to work,
this is
thinking
why-
of a way you could kidnap this person, the perfect blind spots,
That's not
looking at
normal. That's
camera.
not normal
Because
because
you're
it's
harming
harmful.
Yeah, but you know what? Who's to define
But
what harmful
yeah.
is? There's countries in the world
That's
where
the
you can
thing.
still get killed for not wearing the right shit.
And this
So
is
who's
the
to
thing,
describe
right?
what harmful
This
is?
is the thing, right?
You can kill them if you
Harmful,
wear the right
normal,
shit too.
comfortable. These are all broad-based words with different
That's the
meanings.
problem.
Kind of-
Terrorism.
What's that?
I was saying they kind of are.
And if we look at the definition of each word, they probably at least have 3 different definitions,
If not more.
if not more. So you just it's I don't know, man.
It's a dumbing down of the masses.
We're
but-
fucked.
No, I don't think it's a dumbing down of the masses. I think it's
I
the
agree,
masses
Maloney.
are coming to a level where we're being more accepting of
No.
people.
They just didn't
However,
give us this technology because we weren't dumb enough to handle it yet. Imagine in the 80s, people had the internet and Twitter. Yo, the Central Reserve and banking and all that shit
fuck
would have been
no,
overturned
back
and
to this
revolted again.
Yes.
No, because people
Yes,
are so
Maloney,
dumb
tell
now.
Guy's a way to
This guy's
fucking
a
throw in
fucking
the central
genius.
bank reserve
People are
shit.
so fucking dumb
Has
now.
nothing to do
You
with our
can,
conversation.
you can handle this level of internet because you can handle it now. They had touch screens in the 90s, but we didn't get them till we were dumb enough to handle them.
So we were dumb enough to do nothing more than fucking.
Listen, you think
Show
all of a
pictures
sudden-
of our dicks with them.
Do you honestly think that all of a sudden today, people are dumber than they were in the past. All of a sudden now, like there's
100%.
Nah, I think
The
that's
Egyptians were
nostalgia.
smarter
I think
than
that's nostalgia.
whoever.
Dustin,
I will
I
guarantee
think that there's
95% of Harvard graduates on an annual basis weren't as smart as one fucking dumb Egyptian.
If you think back in the days, a person would go like cut down fucking logs and shit, or cut some ice and like make a house,
You
and like
understood
feed their
Earth.
family and like take care. We can't do that shit now. If we don't, if fucking IGA closed down, what are you gonna eat? What are you
This is
gonna
why
eat?
people don't vote because we're dependent.
Yes, we are.
It's like a
We
fucking
are.
baby that can understand English, held your nipple, and you're like, you can only get milk if you say I'm a fucking retard.
No,
well, I guess I'm a fucking retard. All right,
You
have
know,
milk.
they're attacking our
We're at
music.
the point where we can't do anything if
We can't even use the word retard anymore. That is not normal. Look, hip hop
What is
uses the
normal?
word retarded. That's not hip hop culture. I used to go on Facebook
Black
and
Eyed
I would
Peas,
say,
this is retarded.
yeah, I'm gonna get to that just now too. I'd say something on Facebook. This is retarded, or da 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 da,
Yeah.
or I'm getting retarded, whatever. In a hip hop context, I got these idiots on Facebook. Don't say that. And I'm like, the fuck is wrong with you? This is a hip hop term. It's
Yo,
normal
bro.
to me.
There's
I'm not, I know people that are fucking mentally
Mike,
ill. Hold on.
I got a retard story.
I know people that are mentally ill and all this stuff.
Okay.
I would never call them retarded. But I'm using it in a hip hop context. Shut the fuck up.
Well, it's the same way
Yeah.
I use gay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
so
gay.
now this is the thing. You brought up the Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah.
I was playing their song the other day. Let's get it started.
Let's get it straight.
and then
they had to switch it up.
And they had to switch it up because it was Let's Get Retarded.
Yeah.
But if you
Whoa! They got censored?
yes,
Yeah, but
if
that
you,
was- that was 20
but
years
if you
ago.
listen,
I never knew that.
But if you listen to the song word for
24 years
word,
ago.
if you listen to the song, they're still talking about being retarded. So they like you changed one word in the song, but they're still talking about being retarded.
Yeah.
The fuck does it matter?
Good point.
I wish they fought that
Good fucking
for the sake of hip hop.
They wanted
it was
that radio
never used in
money.
hip hop to fucking make fun of people that are
I don't know.
mentally challenged
Can't you say
at all.
fucked up shit inside of music? Like,
I
can't
have
you-
a story.
Oh wait, am I allowed to swear on here?
Oh,
Yes.
fuck yeah. Oh, go.
Sure.
But yeah, so there's a well-known Toronto rapper. I won't say his name because I'm pretty sure we cut it out of the interview.
How well known is he?
Pretty well-known. Vets respect him.
Who?
He's not Maestro.
Who?
But so we'll go
That's
on.
a hype name. What'd you say? Best respect them?
Vets respect him.
Vets respect him.
What is that?
You might as well make
Say,
that
like,
one word.
veterans have respect for the guy he's talking.
Oh,
like,
that's-
So who is this
veterans
guy?
respect him.
I'm not saying the name. I'm not putting nobody on.
Free
blast.
promotion.
No, it's cool. So
Tell them.
they're doing an interview and they were talking about like
Oh my god.
like people. He was talking about like something in hip hop related, but like people that were stupid, right?
Yeah.
And he's like in like something he didn't understand, like the stupidity of. And I was like, yeah, it's like I said something, but I
Yeah.
used the word retarded.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, I'll never. Oh no, I'm not saying they're retarded. He's like, no, No, that's a word I don't even use. And he got like all choked
Yeah.
up, and it took like 2 minutes of the interview, and he explained like and then I sat there feeling like a dick because I didn't mean it like that. I just meant retarded as in like,
Yeah.
oh, they're fucking like, exact. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think people take especially that word
But he
way
made a
to
point of like,
level. But I get
yeah,
where they're coming
way
from
beyond.
because it's been used in a
and
derogatory
he made like a
That's
story.
what
He's like,
it's
he's like
called
my
context.
stepsister
Yeah,
has
shit,
this.
Dustin,
Yeah.
Dustin, where do you stand on the whole special needs topic here?
Well, it's a word. I don't know. People with special needs are special needs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
The thing is, everyone has an addressed title. No one is retarded.
I feel like
So I
feel like I should
he
be
has,
able to
like, the
use that word
politically
over
correct
here.
answer for us.
No, I just, it's just not a word. Like, I just don't really throw it out. Like,
Yeah.
there's certain words, like retarded. I don't use retarded in my
Yeah.
everyday vernacular. I don't
Cool.
use faggot in my
Yeah,
everyday
yeah.
vernacular.
Yeah, but do you know
You
what?
know what I'm saying? Like, there are words that over
Faggot was
time-
the white people's N-word.
Okay,
And
but
then
the
you
words
took
that
it from
over
us.
time,
What?
that, you know what I'm saying? Like, the words
The
that
what? Hold on, what the hell did I just hear? Yo!
Yeah, that was kind of
Okay, please explain what that means. I need to know. Because you had the you had the word and you had the N-word. So how was it either or?
I fucking love this place. This is hype, yo.
Yeah,
Please explain that word, man.
Explain
I
your
need to
stance,
know
dude.
this.
I never
It's
get
gonna
to
be
talk
a
to
Facebook
you
page.
About
shit.
85% of the time as a white kid growing up and listening to hip-hop and you hearing the N-word and stuff, 85% of
You're
the time...
Yeah, he's about as white as they come, bruh.
What the fuck is blacker than me?
Oh, Jesus.
You heard him talk?
But
I'm sure there's some blackness back there somewhere. We get around.
we're actually we're pretty sure one of my
He's wearing some
grandmothers had the
fucking
fair,
eggs.
so we'll see what happened there. But
What a fucking experience.
So
it's
about
been.
85% of the time I would hear the word used in a song, it was usually condescending. So as a white kid, my brother wasn't chasing me around like, you fat N-word.
Yeah,
Before he
obviously
gave me
he's
white
like-
willies.
Yeah.
He was like, come here, you fat faggot. So in the condescending tone, that became the white person's N-word. Like when we're talking about like you whack rappers, you're like, yo, you faggots. Count how many times Eminem says faggot. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, so what I'd say to that is go
And
back
then you
and
took it away from us.
That's
Who took
fucking
it away
away
from
from
you?
they get taken away.
The LGBT community and being PC. And now white rappers have to find a new condescending word.
What I was saying, let me say what I was saying is,
Wow.
what I was
I
saying
love
is,
this guy.
if you go back and watch movies in the 80s, they you know, the way they
Routine said
depicted
that.
a lot of words, even like Back to the
Hey,
Future.
man, a cigarette's a faggot.
They referred to black people as jigs and reefers and Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Biff was like, I don't know, I want problems with you fucking reefers, and just certain words were used. And if you watch John Hughes movies, the way they depicted certain people, especially the way they depicted Asians, that was norms. But society is changing, as I'm saying, to where it's not the norm. It's not normal to call an Asian person a chink or a fucking
Oriental.
or Oriental.
I haven't even heard that
It's not
term in
normal to
years.
be like, oh, these fucking jigaboos. You know, see, like words that used to be statistical norms because at time the only normal or the thing that was normal was white society.
You know what word
we
I still
branched
won't
out
say?
to a point where whether it's through hip hop or whether it's through reggae, whether it's through urban society, things have kind
Can I
of
ask a
And
come a
question?
little bit closer together.
Dustin, on the journey to this enlightenment that we're going through as man, do you not think that we made
the beer all
that,
gone?
that like you like when you're
Oh,
tuning a
shit.
guitar, you
Yeah.
kind of go past and then you go back and then you find the middle,
My
you find
G.
where it is. Do you not think that maybe the left is a bit on that side of maybe pushing it a bit fucking far?
Nah.
Can I ask a white boy
You
Not
question?
don't
really.
you don't think so?
I still have a
Not at
question
all.
I want
man.
to
That's-
I
that's-
ask freedom for
Can I
everybody.
make this one?
Can I
For
ask a
everybody
white
having
man
freedom
question?
But I want to
right
make
across
one
the board.
point.
Yes.
I wanna make one
That
point.
surprises me. That actually surprises me. I thought you would have owned it and said maybe these guys are a little fucking crazy. Maybe this shit's a little crazy going on.
Nah.
around this
I just want to make one point.
Because
on-
if it isn't for the people that are willing to go riot and disrupt society,
Yo.
we would still be second class
because you're-
citizens.
But
Just
yo,
Motherfucking
hold up.
fiends, bro.
Let Mike
Wait,
make his
no,
point.
see,
Yo,
there-
hold up.
I wanna make
You
this
have to
one
disrupt
point.
norms in order for change to come. And
Yo,
we
I
as
turned
black
my-
people
I turned
are
my
the most
mic on.
disruptive
Hold on,
society
hold on.
that ever existed
Hold
in
on,
this North
hold on,
American
hold on.
society.
That'd
And
be a
we have
good-
changed it for
that
everybody
would be
who
a good
came
tool for
and
certain
realized those
agendas.
fucking-
Wow.
those
Us
equalities.
being so powerful might be a really good tool for certain agendas, and I think that we have to be careful of where we stir our power, bro. And to be perfectly honest with you, I had a great time this time. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
But I was not surprised about one thing you said or any stance that you took
Yeah.
until you just said that this shit is not crazy, because I live in a goddamn crazy world where,
Well, it's
where we're
crazy.
all slaves and don't admit and don't see it.
How you doing? How you doing?
And we just got
Got a random
interrupted.
person
Yeah.
walking
Motherfuckers
up.
coming in here and
What's up?
interrupting
No,
me.
he's doing.
No, he's the owner, bro.
Take
Oh
those.
shit.
Make
My
some,
bad.
make some fucking
Yeah.
noise.
Respect on his
I
name.
just wanted to touch on something.
That is nobody
I
random.
just
That's the
wanted to
reason
touch
we're
on
here.
something.
Make some
Somebody touch on
noise.
something.
Cool.
Somebody touch on something.
I just want that you said
Excuse me.
about the N word and the thing.
Yep.
Now, hold on. I just wanted, because in hip hop for the longest time, Brand Nubian, et cetera, they've used that word the whole entire time through. They never used that word as the N word, right? So, like, I'm just looking at the comparison to what you said, how white rappers or white people use the word as the N word, as opposed to black rappers not using it as the N word, but using it as it's more like
Like a Bati boy thing.
yeah, or like basically you're more feminine than me,
Yeah, exactly.
right?
Well, and that's what gay and fag and all this stuff is.
Yeah.
Amongst us. I would never go hate on a gay person.
Yeah.
Pride is my favorite time of fucking year in the
Yeah,
city,
but-
besides Caravana.
But then
That party on the street, bro.
so
like,
you go if you
I got love for gay
put like this
people,
though. So
but-
you went this year.
last year, I didn't go this
So
year.
would you go throughout the whole Pride things saying F this, F that?
You don't do that.
I
That's
mean,
whack.
that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying though.
Hey
I'm,
guys,
I'm just
hey guys,
bringing it up.
I feel like we're getting
Yeah.
a bit off topic here. My first topic was thoughts.
No, I just wanted to get, because I got cut
Okay,
from
go
saying that, and I wanted to bring it
Yeah,
up
I
just
wanted him to
because
make his point.
It's not.
My bad.
that's
You
not
guys
my-
are
yeah.
heated. You guys are
Yeah,
hella heated.
go ahead.
I just feel like we're up here.
with it,
Just
go
need
with
to
it,
kind
go
of
with it.
like bring it down.
No.
here, you know what I mean?
Go back up, man.
So my first topic was thoughts and just how powerful our thoughts are. And what I really wanted to say there was us as musicians, like on my growth, I may look back on a lot of the music that I listened to, like Eminem, which was one of my favorite fucking rappers, and now mature into a place now where maybe I don't accept those same behaviors or words or
Yeah.
just because I use this this is like a mechanism to
They
get
represent as a rebellion at a certain point.
Yeah, and that's cool. How it represents rebellion is cool, but where it is in history...
It's also maturity. You've matured to the point where listening to Eminem talk about some of that stuff, you're not at that point in your life.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it's not helping me get through anything.
But
because
that's why,
I'm
again,
not there.
as
Which is what's
Eminem-
happening with society, where we're not using some of these words
Yeah.
because society in itself is growing up, and we're saying, you know what?
Good point.
We don't need to actually
Good
be this way.
point.
Yeah.
We can be better than that. We're older now. We're smarter. We're wiser. That's for the past.
Yeah, so what's
But
the new
we
white
still have a lot to
person's
learn.
N-word?
Of course.
What's the new white person's
Douchebag.
N-word? Douchebag? That doesn't flow.
Nah.
I think it's just...
See,
white. I
faggots
think
had the
it's
two
just-
G's, so you could use it the
I
same
think
way.
people are just turning white.
Oh my god.
I'm telling you, it was the white person's N-word. Go back and listen to any white rapper.
Wait till I get on
Telling you.
Facebook,
Wow.
bro.
Once you get on it, you'll be like, he's not
Dustin,
lying.
how do you? How do you, man?
What's that?
He's so much to deal with. How do
Yeah,
you
he's
do that?
he's
Wow.
But it's so
The
beautiful.
white
still
person
alive.
How are you?
N-word. I'm gonna post that shit on Facebook. I know someone's gonna report that shit.
Oh,
Well,
someone's
what was
gonna be
my second
mad.
topic?
But I'm like, is the F
What was
word
the
that
second
the
topic?
white
Thought.
person's N-word?
Yeah.
Thought.
But no,
My
thoughts
Lord.
are
I know
definitely
another
important.
one, though.
Jesus
and,
Christ.
Talking
and
points.
even just you know what I'm saying, you have to train yourself to kind of like think positive.
But then you're not being yourself and you're not being
What's the
normal.
topics that I have?
Being normal is abnormal.
See, that's the whole problem with the idea of normal. That's my issue
But there
with it.
is
Is
no
where do
normal.
you draw the
I agree
line?
with
I think
Because
the only thing
normal
that's
is what
normal-
normal is to you.
That's what I'm
And
saying.
I'm not
That
saying
is
I
no
condone R. Kelly by any means. Don't take it wrong. I'm using it as an example
Well,
to say
also, we have to consider this.
if something is normal to you, then it's normal to you.
No, exactly, and consider
Normal's
this.
a bad line to draw.
Not
No,
if
it
it's
is.
harming somebody else.
No.
There
but
has to be
consider
a
this,
line
but
that's
consider
more
this. Hold on.
definitive. It's
It
like
was
terrorism.
normal to cook food with lard 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? That was normal. They didn't know it
I'm
was
a terrible
unhealthy.
cook. Well, I'm a
But what I'm saying is, norms
Yeah.
in societies change as societies
Sometimes you don't know it's
evolve.
harmful.
But they
as-
thought it was
Yeah,
not
but do you know what
Yeah,
you cook
but
it
that's
with?
the
that-
problem.
And when it became harmful, we no longer accepted that behavior.
It took a long time, but it took like
That's
50
all-
years.
that's all that I'm
before
saying.
you
Hey.
fucking be like, oh shit, we
I'm
fucked
saying,
up.
I'm saying
Hold
the
on, no.
numbers. I'm saying the numbers.
Racism was a norm, and then eventually found out, oh shit, this is harmful.
Yeah, but
But
you
they
know
didn't
what?
even care that it was harmful
Wait,
though.
we're-
Eating lard is probably better than eating fucking vegetable oil
I don't
and
know about
canola
that.
oil. These are all
about
processed, refined products. That's the thing.
You rather eat pig
The
fat?
media of the old world convinced
Yeah.
people that doing things the natural way they've been doing them hundreds of thousands of years was unhealthy, and this new alternative
even
way
like 50
of
years,
butter,
100 years ago.
margarine.
Yeah, they're talking
Oh,
about
really? My
100.
grandma just lived to fucking 101. My fucking grandpa's still kicking with black hair, and
Yeah,
he's in
yeah,
his
yeah.
90s.
That's 'cause
You
of
kidding
modern
me?
day vitamins.
No, fuck no, it's not.
They were not living
No.
that long 100 years
I'm
ago.
telling, bro. Not everyone was, but knowing this, what's the average rate of life now for us? Like,
Six,
you know,
If I can
something.
speak to that, I don't think that length of life is what's important. I think having a healthy, full
a healthy life while you're in your life.
and having a good life, and it's not necessarily the length of life that
It's not
the
necessarily.
quality of
But
life
the
that's
point I'm
important.
making is, we got convinced over a period of 100 years by an industrial mechanism, monopoly that came through and bulldozed everything, took every local business out of everything in Western society and made it a corporation and made everything a conveyor belt.
Right.
None of this shit is fucking healthy. Roundup in your fucking... None of this shit is...
not.
GMOs?
It's not healthy.
GMOs exist? Like, none of
It's
this
not healthy. We know
shit...
it's not normal.
This is the point I'm making.
Well, not everybody knows what is normal or not.
Wait, do you hear what we just
To us, that's
said?
normal.
Wait, do you
Yeah.
hear what we just
No,
said?
we know-
We
we
just
know.
said that this
Modified.
whole life that we're living and all of these actions and all of these behaviors, they're all not normal, and all of us are still doing it. And you know what's more powerful? Right now, as I'm saying that, I'm realizing how powerful this podcast is.
yo.
Because we're talking about these issues that are fucking issues that no one's fucking willing to
Nah,
talk
they
about.
don't.
No one
You know
wants
what
to
the
talk
only
about
thing,
the
in my
large
opinion,
scale.
the only thing when it comes to
This
shit
ain't
is-
normal right now.
The only thing that is
It's really
normal
motherfucking
is that you're
kidney.
born
Motherfucker.
and eventually you
die.
That's the only motherfucking norm that
Yeah.
everybody goes through in this world. That's the same.
And
You're born,
taxes.
you
That's
die.
why I always say I'm not.
That hurts me. That's
I'm not scared
normal.
of death. I'm scared of life. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because you never know what could come the next day. But when you're dead, you're gone.
So so that was thought. I'd like to conclude that and move on more than we may. And first, I'd like to just take a couple of minutes and just thank you guys because I was kind of a little bit nervous about coming in today and I wasn't sure how this was gonna go. But thank you so much for giving me a
The most uncomfortable people fit in with me.
What does that mean? It's normal.
All right, let me. Can I?
Ah!
Can I
You
talk about
most
something?
incredible, baby.
So Marcus
I can't see him coming down my eyes.
Marcus was surprised.
So I gotta make Dustin cry.
Yeah, I gotta shut that motherfucking tears. But Marcus is surprised at how liberal of a human being I actually am. So I'm gonna say this, 'cause I said this a couple times on the show, but I want everybody to know this because.
Oh wait, no, I think that liberalness is against harm, and I think you may be enforcing a bit of harm onto society with some of your beliefs.
Oh, how so?
I just think that what you're.
Yo, I need a cigarette
I think
for
that
this
we're
one.
very far.
Nah, don't do that, bro. We got like 20 minutes left.
We're very far away
That's
from
cooking.
how men hurt the world, and we're very, very close to how women hurt the world. And I think
you
I
buying
think
into this red pill bullshit, bro.
Oh,
you buying a
no.
little too much into this red pill
no,
bullshit
and when
right now, bro.
I say women, I
You
don't
really
mean
are,
I
man.
don't mean women. What I mean is feminine. So before it was war, and it was things like this that were very masculine traits that were affecting the world. And now I feel as we move away from that and we move away from masculinity, that the way that we can hurt the world now is
We've already
There's
destroyed
too much
the fucking
femininity.
world. There ain't no more
There's no
world to fucking hurt.
balance.
We've already destroyed it through masculinity.
I believe in you, world.
You've already bought
I believe in
the
you.
fucking world.
If you believe in the world, holla at me, professional paradigm
Alright,
shifter.
you know what,
on
though?
I'll put it like
Instagram.
this.
No, hold on. My example is,
Yeah.
you know how when you don't sleep for 3 nights or so, maybe you don't understand, but especially when you do cocaine, you might not sleep for a few nights. But they say, clinically, it is unhealthier for you to sleep for like 21 hours and catch up on sleep
Yeah,
than it is
absolutely.
for you to just get an 8 hours sleep no matter how long you haven't
Absolutely. Way too much
slept.
carbon monoxide
Wow.
for your brain.
That's cool to know.
Well, and it's the
Not
exact
that I do
same
too much
thing
blow
right
or
here.
anything, but just it's good to know that I shouldn't
Exactly
take
what you're
21
saying,
hours.
though, is the exact same thing.
Yeah, all I'm saying is that we have to be careful of we have to be careful as human beings.
Just because things have been
masked.
masculinized so long doesn't mean they have to be feminine now for 50 years to make a balance.
It's all about
What you need to
balance.
do is just find a
It's
balance and
balance.
keep it balanced.
Fucking amen.
In
man.
extremity
Somebody
on
give this
either
guy a
side.
show. He's amazing.
And
He's
I was about to
amazing.
say that,
Yeah.
I didn't have to say it.
The extremity on
Fucking
either
A.
side
Thank
is
you
what
for
is
that,
harmful.
man. And
It
yo,
has to
now
be
I see
balanced.
the dynamic in this room between you and Dustin and how fucking beautiful that relationship is. You guys really compliment each other. I think it's cool. You know what I mean? Like maybe you guys should get married.
No, it's not happening. It's not motherfucking happening.
Am I
at
daddy
all.
or am I poppy?
It's not happening at all.
Sorry, excuse
It's
me.
not
man. I'm
happening
sorry.
at all.
Well, you
I just
guys,
asked you if
are
I
making
was
a
daddy
really
or
beautiful
poppy and
baby.
you didn't pause me.
No, that's not
You guys
happening.
can make a really beautiful baby though.
I paused.
What's going on in the building
not
right now?
happening at all. Not happening at all. Listen, man, I'm gonna put it at you like this,
Woo!
all
Hit
right?
me.
So there was once basically an island, and this island was a slave island. You know,
Does it still
they
exist?
had. The island still exists. The island itself was called the island of Hispaniola.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
this island, you know, saying was
Cuba,
a slave.
no?
No, this
No,
island was a slave
Dominican, yeah,
plantation
yeah,
island. You
Dominican.
know what I mean?
Cool.
And if it wasn't for the fact that the people of this island, the inhabitants, the slaves of this island, were the rebels enough to buck the motherfucking
normal-
societal
the
norm
normal system.
of slavery, we would still be slaves to this fucking day. And the gratitude that we give this island is that they're the poorest nation in the Western Hemisphere, and that's the
That's
island
terrible,
of Haiti.
'cause they made
now,
change.
the point I'm trying to
Ooh,
make
thank
is
you for
the
saying
point
that.
I'm
Hold on,
trying to-
wait.
hold on,
Let's
let me
have a
finish, let me
quick
finish, let me
moment from
finish.
Haiti.
Let me finish. The point I'm trying to make is it's the rebels that change the world and make it better for the rest of society,
Yes.
not the people
Hold
who
on,
try to
though.
hold up the old laws.
hold on,
No,
though.
let me finish.
Yeah, I got
Police
you.
officers
I-
do not
I
exist.
agree with
Yeah,
that.
but
Police officers
I agree
do not
with
exist to help society. Police officers exist to enforce laws. So if there's slavery is legal, they're going to enforce
Yeah.
slavery. So what I'm trying to say is conservatism is not there to help people who actually want to be free. Conservatism is there to build a wall and prevent people from moving forward in their life, where the liberals will say, fuck it, tear that motherfucking wall down because he wants freedom, I want freedom, and
Yes.
we're going to get it no matter motherfucking
Yes.
what.
Yes,
So that's
absolutely.
the
And I'm not
difference.
I'm not against freedom. I'm just against a bit of the harm. But yo, honestly, I want to come back and
I
have
don't
some
want
more
to say
talks
what I
in about
gotta
a month.
say right now.
And every time.
I'm gonna play devil's
Yo, hold on, wait,
advocate.
Dustin, you're hyped though.
I'm gonna play devil's
Yo, I like
advocate.
that. I like
I've had to do that a few
I
times,
love
bro.
what
I
you
like
said.
that.
I wanted to explain to you
Yeah.
why I am like this, which is what I was
Yeah.
trying to say a few moments ago. So let me say.
It's just
No.
it's just you have to be careful because when you talk about slavery and you talk about enslaving somebody over the race of their color, you cannot help the way that your skin is. But
said
you can help behaviors, and I feel like we're inducing that your side and your
Let me-
views
camera.
are hurting I feel like your views
Can I-
may be hurting. Maybe hurting.
Play devil's
Your views may be
advocate.
helping
Hold on.
a harmful behavior run rampant in our world that I'm not about, that I don't really accept, that was not a part of my culture's history, and is just not something that I accept.
But which?
All right, yo, hold up. Let Mike get his hot take off. Let Mike get his hot take off.
Speak on the mic. Speak
Come
on.
on.
Because you said a lot of fire still.
Okay, speak on.
But it's
Hold on, wait.
It's fucked
What
up.
did you say? What did you say?
He's fire. But when it, like you talked about conservatism,
Right.
maintaining slavery,
Right.
etc. But
It's not the
they're
same
about
argument as
maintaining-
what the liberals are arguing.
What?
Hold up.
But according to historians,
We're talking politics in here.
it's really if the Democrats are
You're talking
liberals,
Democratic Republican, right?
Yeah,
I get
yeah.
you.
and not even all that, because even the Democrats
Right.
about the KKK,
I don't know what Democrats or Republicans are.
right? And the Democrats are considered liberals.
They
Oh,
flipped
okay,
in the
cool. Right?
60s. They flipped in the
Yeah.
60s, though.
At the end of the day, if we look at today's liberal Democrat,
Right.
and I'm only playing devil's advocate. I'm neither or, because I don't fucking trust any.
This guy don't trust none of you. You
I'm
come around
pretty
him, he knows you're gonna fuck up. So don't even
Right.
talk
But
to
the
Stone.
liberals of today, right? With certain things, yes, they're trying to progress. With other things, I feel like they're trying to keep.
They're
things
doing
in
harm,
place.
and you have to be careful.
Bro, yeah.
Nobody's perfect. We
It's
are
all controlled
human.
by the same
We are
mechanism.
human.
Absolutely.
And I'm
the
not
same
even
mechanism
defensive with the
And
conservatives.
even you, Dustin,
Because the conservatives
how
are no
intelligent
better.
you are, and how I love hearing you speak.
The
Even you,
conservatives are no
sir,
better.
may make a mistake, and you
Yeah.
may have made a mistake.
But
there's
today.
one thing
And
I have to say.
I hope that
Conservatives
in,
are
I
no
hope that in
better.
retrospect you can see, yo, and grow
For
a
as
little bit with
long
me.
in a
And
capitalist
then
Let me
society,
explain myself as to
Yeah.
why I.
for as long as in capitalist
Yeah.
society that we put our faith between two parties, everything will always work for the same party.
course.
That's what democracy is not supposed to be one versus the other.
No.
Democracy is that's how fucking fascist states
But
are
it
run.
is.
What democracy is supposed to be is a
about the
fair,
majority.
even.
No.
It's about the
Majority wins. That's democracy.
a fair chance
No,
to
no,
stand
no.
behind. The
Majority
fact that there's
wins. That's not fair.
No,
it's
not
more
fair.
versus less.
There's never
it's not
fair.
It's
That's
not
a
fair.
majority
democracy.
wins
You're right.
is the biggest
And you should be
source
able
of
to,
Yeah.
fairness.
and you should be able to
That's
do whatever you
democracy.
want.
Besides
and
the
stand for
universal
freedom.
law, the closest thing you can
Yeah.
get to civil
Democracy is not about doing whatever
equality
you want.
is
It's
democracy.
majority wins.
The problem is democracy is not done properly.
What do you mean? Majority wins.
No, but the
That
thing
sucks,
is,
though.
you're given two choices to
That
pick
sucks.
between. The odd time you get an independent movement that comes up, makes some noise for 10
Yeah.
somewhat
See, the
years, like
problem is that-
NDP or the Green Party.
But it's gotta be
then
majority.
they get bought out by one of the other
That's why it
parties.
gotta be the
And then it
majority.
just becomes the same two.
Majority wins.
But having a majority
Remember
vote
Green
in an
Party?
option of 2 opposed to a fair
Remember
option
Green
of
Party?
10, that's the difference
But
in
is
democracy.
10 is 10 even fair? Is
Probably
10 more
not.
fair than 2?
But it's more fair than 2.
Democracy is not fair.
Because you can believe that the biggest
Democracy is not-
sponsoring, the
But what
biggest
I'm saying
people
is-
sponsoring on both sides are banks.
Democracy is not based on fairness. It's based on majority rule.
Exactly.
That's
and when
all.
you sponsor both sides,
It
then-
doesn't matter. Because you can have 10 different separate parties.
Well, it's a very
It's
easy.
still majority
No, you know what?
rules.
You're correct. Because it's
Democracy.
an easy system to manipulate.
So guys,
it's the
one thing-
easiest form of government to manipulate, but it's also the hardest to completely dictatorly overtake.
Yo, guys, once again, I just want to thank you for having me on the show. And this conversation is fire. And just if we could just give it up for ourselves right now, because we're really touching some, touching some bars that like people don't really go there. And I think it's important to go where people don't go. Like Star Trek shit. My first talking point that I had today was thoughts and how they control your stuff. And I think it's important just to do so, not be caught up in what they're feeding you, not be caught up in whatever's happening in your society. Be caught up in what you're feeling, what your emotions are, and what your thoughts are doing in this world. What you're fucking doing out here. And I think it's important to have these conversations that these make it out there.
No, absolutely. And again, that's why I wanted to explain to you why I have the thoughts the way that I think. I want to explain to you who I am as a person. And anybody watching who doesn't know who I am.
Okay.
Now, first and foremost, I got a black father. I got a Japanese mother.
Really?
Yep.
That's fucking G, man.
Okay. I'm gonna go on.
Continue.
I got a white stepmother. Okay.
Cool.
I got a Filipino girlfriend. I got a lesbian sister. I got a transgender baby brother, and I have native godparents. So when it comes to the whole spectrum of just life, I've seen it all. I've seen poor. I've seen middle class. I've seen rich. I grew up in Malvern in the hood, but I grew up Malvern in the hood hanging out with like brown people as well as hanging out with black people. So my whole perspective is really like I've lived with every color of people. You understand what I'm saying? Whether through roommates or whatnot, I listen to rock music as much as I listen to hip hop. I'll fuck around and listen to some classical music. But the point I'm trying to make is because I've actually had conversations with all these people, specifically my baby brother and my sister, my dad's side, my mom's side of the family, and understanding it, you know what I mean? Understanding Filipino, understanding immigrant as well as, you know, naturalized Canadians, understanding that my grandparents during World War II or my great-grandparents, we had all our property seized, and rather than going to internment camp, we had to move to a farm on the east side of the Rockies. So I understand all the perspectives of what happens with ultranationalism. I had a stepfather who was white who used to beat me because I was black, so I understand what it's like to be in that position. But I also understand what it's like, you know what I'm saying, from all these different perspectives. And the main thing is, everyone's just trying to figure out where the fuck they're going.
Wait.
There's no book of life. There's no manual.
That's giving more credit to
You know
what
what I'm
it
saying?
is. I don't believe that that's the case. I don't give people just because I meet them the
We're all
credit.
trying to live.
Just because I meet you does not mean I respect you. Your actions and the things you do will determine if I respect
and
you or
that's
not.
the thing I'm coming
And
from.
98% of the people that I meet fall terribly short of it. And I myself am maybe on that line very
No, I
often.
feel you. But I'm just
You know what?
explaining why
I think
my
it's the same way as
why
you.
my outlook is
The
like.
thing is,
hey,
I have no expectations.
it is
of
what it
anyone.
is.
As to where you have a negative expectation.
That's not
of
negative.
everyone,
It's just I'm just waiting for
you're
you
waiting
to
for
fuck
them to
up.
fuck up. As to
That's all,
where
fuck
I have
up.
no judgment on the situation
wait,
either way.
just fuck
I'm
up.
like, I've met you. You
Keep
are a
moving.
person. We know each other.
Yeah.
Now
The
we
point-
see where it goes.
But
And there's people like you who
Yeah.
try to see the best in them. Like you have all sides of the spectrum, and I find the easiest way to live life, like they say, stress is one of the biggest killers no one knows about. It
There
kills
you go.
more
Get
people
that
than
on camera.
cheeseburgers, kills more
Yeah,
people
put
than
that on camera,
fucking
get that on camera. Yeah,
air
there we
pollution,
go.
kills more people than cocaine, fentanyl.
Yeah.
Stress kills more people than everyone on a yearly
That's why I don't
basis
wanna be
in this type of
stressed.
society. So you know what the best way to not be stressed is?
Not
Live in
give
the
a fuck.
fucking middle of everything.
Yeah.
I have no opinion on
Well, that's
this. I have
Buddhism.
no opinion
That's
on this.
Buddhism.
Cool.
That's literally.
You're both wrong and stupid because you're both extreme.
That's literally.
I see
Buddhism.
these streams on both.
Yes! That's it!
So
You're
why
too
you-
fucking extreme. Like that scream was far overbearing. That's it. You cannot be extreme, and you have to be willing to look at yourself and be better every day. And look
And
at
you have
yourself
to be
today.
open to other perspectives, other
Sometimes you gotta
sides
be
of
extreme
you.
though. Sometimes you gotta be extreme.
Yeah.
Well,
To
In
get
certain
certain things done,
situations,
yeah.
yes.
You're right, actually.
Yeah.
Extreme.
You do in
Fuck,
certain
And as an
situations.
artist,
Right.
bro,
He's
as
right.
honestly, as an artist, you need to erase the whole notion of a normal whatnot because you're an artist. There's nothing
There's no
normal.
normal.
Yeah.
about
That's
being an
actually
artist.
wrong. We base all of our music off of the Western scale. These notes
That's-
are the most pleasing notes to the human ear, and actually there is pleasing sounds that are pleasing.
You're talking
to the human
music
ear.
theory. You're not talking to actual artists.
No,
No,
what he's
it
talking about is
speaks to-
deep.
it speaks
Because
to
in
it.
North America, what you're talking about is a lot of the keys and notes that are used are ones that actually affect you in the
What's it
negative
called, music theory?
perspective.
Yes.
Yeah, it is music theory, but what he's talking about is very real. The stuff he's talking about, how there's a lot of different
All I'm
cultures of
saying
music.
is some stuff feels good and some stuff feels bad, and hurting children feels bad. So if anybody here wants to hurt
But for
children,
some people,
then you can join
it feels
Dustin.
good.
I love negative.
And that's sad. That's what I'm trying to say, though.
I'm
Some
joking.
people-
I'm
But
joking.
that's the whole
I'm
thing.
joking. Forgive
To
me. I
some
have had a
people,
couple
the
drinks.
hurting children is
Forgive me,
normal.
Dustin.
And that's the fucked up part about
No,
our
there's
conversation.
There's some pedophiles where that's normal to. That's a whole other fucking
Yeah.
conversation. But yeah, absolutely.
Or they don't look at them as being even human beings.
Well, that was the first one. That was thought. So, so we like to talk about thought for about an hour and a half.
Wait,
that's what the fuck comes out of me saying
I didn't
thought.
talk about any of my thoughts.
Yes, you did.
Thoughts?
No,
You
what
ran this
about?
whole shit. Okay, well,
Man,
how
I
do
didn't
you
tell
deal
you
with
about
that?
fucking Alicia, about Alicia,
You're about to get in trouble.
about Lindsay.
Alicia?
No, they're all my girls.
you said
names.
Her first name, a variation of her name, and her last name.
Her middle name.
Yeah, is her middle name Alicia? Like she's.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
That's
So,
a good way to cover
what's her full
yourself.
name?
It's a good way to pull a joke off
Yeah.
without getting killed at home with a
Yeah,
dildo on
exactly.
my face.
That's
Rewind.
fucking deep.
Pause.
Without waiting. Nah,
So-
it is what it is, man. But at the end of the day,
What's
bro,
clear
like,
Montreal, yo?
So my buddy out in Montreal started this creme de la creme of clothing here, and
Sorry,
this is his.
I said cream. It's
This
creme.
is the first. This is the first line we're doing, and we're doing all the social media. So I do that too. I do a lot of creative directing online, photo shoots, and I love telling people what's good and what's not good.
Well, you
Because
said telling me what's good and what's not good.
I don't think anyone can tell you that.
All right. That's a good
Sorry,
point.
Yeah,
I
that's a
think
good
nobody
point.
can tell you shit, sir.
That's a good point.
But yeah, creme's hanging inside of the boutique that we got going on out there, which is a great idea. 85 artists that are designers are hanging in this boutique. What's the name of the space, babe?
Espace urbain.
Yeah, see how beautiful that sounds?
Yeah.
It's in French.
Espèce.
So shout out to Creme de la Creme, you know what I mean? For
As long as you verify it's not asbestos.
no, not asbestos. So yeah, my first thing was
Yo, pull that up. That looks fresh.
it looks pretty dope, right?
That's super fresh.
Yeah, I mean, this
You
guy's-
selling any right now?
Yeah, we got some. This is mine. I only brought one with me, but next time I come down, I'll bring some for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely, bro.
Because
I'm
we're
confident
all
though.
Canadian,
That's
and we
nice. I
all
like
know
that.
the Log Drivers song, right?
Yeah.
Which one? The one that was on the fucking CBC?
I don't know.
Don't tell me the white kid is the only one who doesn't know the fucking
what's the
law.
song?
You
Oh,
know the
oh,
Log
oh,
Drivers song,
Nah, man,
man?
I'm an
I
Italian.
think you're
my
too young.
God.
I'm an Irish white kid.
Okay,
no,
wait,
no,
wait.
no.
Probably
How
too
does it
young.
go?
And I don't remember the name of the
It goes,
song.
Say it right.
On YTV.
Hold on, I'll sing it for you.
No,
Hold
this
up.
ain't right.
It goes.
Let's just skip over this. Let's say it right. No, I'm
Anyway,
just-
if you know the Log Driver sign, put it in the comments. Or
That's the one
whatever.
with the cartoon and the guy in the logs.
And he's on a
shit.
log, and
Oh, yeah,
he gets all
yeah.
the girls because he's got the light step.
They used to do that on
Log
YTV
I
back
forgot the name of the song though.
Yeah,
You're too
I don't remember the song at all though.
I could have been Italian.
Do you know about the
jumped-
house
or
that goes?
Italian. I could have been Irish, jumped on logs and scored women. This sounds fucking lit.
Basically,
Yeah, what the fuck?
I
Why
need
am
to
I
review-
rapping? I should just be getting my
I
leg
need to
game
review
on.
that joint again. I
It's
don't
like
even
the cat
remember
came
that
back
shit until
type
now.
shit.
A sailor
I want to make
bang.
one quick point before we leave. Thought that that the Egyptians had this person named Thoth that came down and brought thought to them. His name was
She
like,
brought pussy.
and it helped them think. And I think what we're gonna need right now in this ascension, like I think something big's about to happen on Earth, and you need to use your thought to get there. And I really believe that that's where your power lies. So change your thoughts and change the world. And I'd like to conclude thought really quick on that note.
Well, I've always wondered if thought control is like a tactic a pimp uses or something that you use on yourself.
Yes.
It is. It is actually. That's precisely
Yes.
what they do. That's precisely.
Yeah,
what
but I
they
didn't
do.
mean it like that. I just meant more.
But that's
like,
exactly
yo,
what it
you
is,
my
mind
thought
control.
and I control you.
No, that's exactly what it is.
That's what government.
Damn, I got way too deep on that. I didn't mean to.
No, it's just
Government-
I just wanted it to be a damn joke. Let's move on.
Government actually stands for mind control. Govern means mind. I mean, govern means to govern something, and then ment in Latin means mind, and so government together actually means mind control.
Same reason
to
mental
control.
means the same thing, and yeah.
Mental means the same as well.
Well, Latin is basically the basis of English, and then
Yes.
you throw a couple of random other languages in there. So yeah, mental, take control, thing that controls your
So,
body.
so the government's controlling
It
you.
all has the same thing.
But moving along, I have music that I make, and that's why the fuck I'm on Turono Talks, because
Hey.
this is like where artists can come and make
Yeah,
music and do some
yeah.
stuff. So I have
Kind of.
yeah, that's not
I
really
mean,
our
we
thing.
get them to plug their music, but we also get them just to come here and talk shit.
Yeah, we
Yes.
just basically
and
talk
that's cool.
talk show.
That's cool.
bestiality and shit.
But I am an artist.
Don't
And,
get us kicked off YouTube again, please.
And horses, I don't interest me. So
Yeah.
so
you
I
got
play-
your guitar with you,
I
right?
brought my guitar,
Bring
and,
it
and
around.
I play some.
Alright.
I play some music. I have a new song coming out called Yoga. Look out for it. It's really dope, and it's about to drop soon. We're gonna work on a really dope.
All right, so
video
let's do
for that.
this. Give us
Alright.
your shout outs quick while someone grabs your guitar.
Okay.
Shout out everybody you want to shout out, and then play us off.
Yeah, yeah.
Quickly, because we
I-
got about 5 minutes till we're done. So
Okay, dope. So
Come on,
let's
y'all grab
Oh,
my
hold
guitar.
up, hold up.
Sure.
Um,
Oh, dope.
there we go.
Mushroom,
So give
bro?
your shout outs. No,
yo,
you can't
take
leave.
my seat.
Oh, thank you.
All right, T.
Put
There
that
you go.
down to your guitar.
This
And
seat is
then, are you
very
able to
warm.
pull up a little bit closer though?
Yeah.
So that can go to your guitar. That can go to your vocals.
All right, so give us your shout outs first, because you said you want to shout out some people. So I want to remind you that you want to give those shout outs before we go off
Thank
there.
you so much, Dustin.
So give all your shout outs,
Um,
give all your plugs, and then we're going to play it off, man.
Dustin.
Oh, yo, hold
I'd
up.
like to shout
Before
out-
you start, we have to talk THC Collection real quick. Shout outs to the boys at THC
Yeah.
Collection. We have the Purple
Yes.
Master Kush today, triple A grape. Sorry, quadruple
Purple
A
Master
grape.
Kush.
Yeah, shout out to THC and hit me up. I'd like to work with you guys as well.
Hey, but so yeah, what did you think about the bud?
Yeah, man, it wasn't bad. It was Purple
wasn't
Master
Oh wait,
bad,
that
right?
was that big blunt we were smoking when
That
I
was-
locked
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
That shit was fire! Shout out to THC. You guys know
Yo,
what's going
shout out
on. What was the
THC
name of
Collection. That was just the Purple Master Kush right there.
that? That's all. Just a master kush.
But tune in go to their site www.thccollection.com every Friday, and you can get those same ounces, the fucking good purple kush,
Yeah.
all the top quadruple A quality buds, $129 an ounce. Use
What?
the promo code HIPHOP, that's HIPHOP, all capitals, no hyphen, save 5% on all orders, and that is including sales. And spend $150 and get free delivery. Shout out to THCcollection.com. That Purple Master was bomb. I'm about to go puke my brains out because I'm so high.
I was just saying it's dope, bud.
I don't know how I'm gonna go after that one.
I'm still stoned a couple hours later.
It had a nice
it got the
finish.
job done. It was a nice indica. definitely recommend the Purple Master Kush. It's a Master Kush and it's purple. You
Dope.
can't get any more regal than that. You know what I'm saying?
Kush
So,
like Grandmaster.
that being said, hit them
Grandmaster
up,
Flex.
order that bud, throw in that promo code and get your discount. On that note, Marcus,
Yeah.
give us a shout out.
So quickly, I'd like to shout out Emotive, Galberto Machado.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Sweat
much
it.
for looking out for your
Sweat it.
people.
don't want your lips
Thank
on
you.
the same
I'd like
Yeah.
to thank. I really like to thank
I'm good,
RFM,
bro.
RFM Room Full of Mirrors
I'm drinking.
Experience. You guys really make my life a lot easier. I'd like to shout out Crown and Hearts, which is the clothing line coming out of Toronto. It's all handwork. And it's beautiful. Everything's done by hand, and they're clothes. I mean, I'm wearing a Crown and Hearts right now. So this is all hand done, and no other one will be like this. One more person I gotta shout out, Dustin.
Yeah.
Dustin in Turono Talks. Let's make some noise for you motherfuckers. I never felt so
Yeah.
comfortable in my life. Great group of individuals, really good energy in the room. Mike Stoan, you already know he's a DJ. He's doing his thing. We all know Mike Stoan.
Yeah.
He thinks you're
right
gonna
here.
fuck up
Not
right
me.
away.
That's this
So
dude.
don't fuck up. I am Marcus Starks. You already know. I play a little acoustic guitar. I've been freestyling on these streets. I've made love on your rooftop. I do all the Toronto biz. So yeah, this is a little Marcus Starks. It's called Zombies. I'll see you guys on time. Just a little out of tune.
After this, I got a song I need you to play guitar for me.
Propositioning the guy when he's trying to fucking do his thing.
He's tuning. No,
I got
but
you.
that
I'll try.
melody he just hit was right on tone with what I needed.
Just try to see
Said
if
they
you
heard a rumbling, changing in the wind, thunder, baby. Start to feel something, it ain't normal, trust me, we're a zombie. You're a zombie, you goes to slave, to all the toast you, to the bread, little red riding in the hood with a bag full of coke today. There's another way, we have an abundance of all the love. Love is the answer to all your problems, the rumbling. They said they heard a rumbling, the world changing in the wind, thunder, thunder. Start to feel something, it ain't normal, trust me, we're a zombie. You're a zombie, goes to slave, when all you want is brains. You forget all of your dreams and place them in the same box, please, your pain, your pain. Your anger, revenge, and hate, I say now place the flames, descending, controlling your ways and watch it all burn away, the same, the same. Said they heard a rumbling, no one changing in the wind, thunder, thunder. You start to feel something, it ain't normal, trust me, we're all zombies. I guess that makes us all zombies.
Marcus Starks, man. He's doing big things. We're gonna get off the air because we can't do any better than that. One love, baby. Marcus,
tell him where to follow you, though.
Professional paradigm shifter, baby.
Tell him Mike, don't turn it off.
Professional Paradigm Shifter on Instagram.
Let 'em
Professional Paradigm Shifter, please change your paradigm.
What's up, man? Toronto Talks.
Y'all just heard the Lydias.
That was dope.
That was
what it
fire.
is. Hit up my man. One love, homie. We out. It's another week. We'll be back next week. Who we got next week?
Next week, I don't know. But I can tell you one time for
Okay,
your mind. Yo,
that's
check
That's
it.
what's up.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yo, I get sexual. My dick is unflexible.